Looks like we might be live. Just thought about music just a minute ago. So, man, I should find something to play in the background. I also don't know how VODs go. We're gonna roll without music today. We'll roll without music. We're gonna see how it goes. See how things pan out. What's going on? Welcome in. I guess I should set up like a scene for this that is. I'm gonna click on something. We're gonna see what happens. No, wait, I can preview it. We don't have to be crazy. Yeah, that was gonna go really bad. I don't want to do that either. It's fine. It'll work for now. Let's do it. Bam. Hi. Welcome in. It's Merc. There you are. I gotta get your channel URL. How you doing? This is really weird. This is way different for some reason than streaming on Twitch right now. Okay, so that should be your URL. I'm gonna get you added to the list. Cool, bam, done. PZZZ, done it. Ooh, the text is so small. I need to like... I need to bump up the size in the chat. So today's going to be a little bit of just like goofing around and finding out what I'm doing. Maybe if I pop out chat, does it give me options? You can now pin a message to the top of your live chat. Cute. Can I make it bigger? Okay. That's Mama Nook. Look at that. That's Mama Nook. I want to just make the text size bigger. Dang, I don't know what I'm doing. I gotta mess with that some more. That should be good. Yeah, pop out is a thing, but I have to like zoom my whole browser window to make the chat bigger. But we'll get there. It's all good. How we doing? Welcome in. I'm starting off today with just like hanging out. Maybe I can... Dude, Luna, you were messaging me about God of War. I think I cried 3 times during the opening of that game this morning. Absolutely beautiful. This is today. This is what we're doing today. I will eventually come up with a better format and layout for this. Today was supposed to be a closed test stream, but I decided to open it up. But this is the new. This is the new that I'm getting into too. I am Ahsoka apparently. It's like almost perfectly set up so that I've got like Ahsoka's headpiece on. And chat text is tiny. It is. And to watch that VOD. Yeah, go watch my VOD. I played the opening of God of War this morning on Twitch. I'm gonna play some of it offline, but if I wake up early, I'm gonna keep streaming it. But I'm going over like several different topics because I was just in a different conversation before I started the live. But hope everybody's good. I want to spend like the first half hour to an hour just kind of like hanging out and chatting and seeing what's going on and kind of explaining what we're gonna be doing. Today is Lightsaber VFX explained. I was having like a panic attack before stream trying to figure out what I was going to talk about today because I felt very ill-equipped. Yeah, ill-equipped. And I'm not exactly sure what it was because I was panicking, but I finally had the idea that I was like, lightsabers were the first visual effects thing that I learned to do. So, why not just talk about lightsabers? And so, we're going to talk about lightsabers. Seems simple enough. 4 a.m., someone couldn't sleep. It was before workout streams. Yeah, I just, during the game, my whole sleep schedule shifted during that last month. I thought it was like anxiety induced, but it's still here. I'm still waking up at 3:30 a.m. Fantastic. But whatever. I'm streaming and that's fun. So that's nice. Yeah, we're gonna be looking at the different, like I said, the evolution of VFX over the lightsaber VFX over the years. Um from film, how did they do that on film, to current day where they're and I'll just talk about and go over the different methods, and I hope that we can just find some like videos or articles and stuff and look at that. But I can basically explain from memory how to do it. But then I'd love to show some examples of everything that I'm thinking of and talking about as we go. In the future, I think I'm going to organize this a little bit more, because once I had a plan in mind for today, I was like, boom, no problem. I got it. I got the stream. As soon as I was like, we're doing lightsabers, I was like, no problem. I can talk about lightsabers all day. So, as we go into the future with these, I'm gonna do my best to plan these ahead of time, where I've got some talking points, where we have an edit to look at, or a topic to look at, or a specific visual effect, or something like that. I've been really into horror recently, so we might do a stream or several streams on like jump scares or whatever like that. But those are my ideas right now. That's what we're doing. What's up, M4? How you doing, man? Pan, zoom, 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 zoom. There's so many wrenches in chat now. Lucius! Back on YouTube. It feels nostalgic, right? It's weird, man. It's weird. Like, the dashboard is so much simpler. So much simpler than Twitch. I'm like, this is it? Wait, what? I mean, yeah, horror, cool, no problem. Be listening and watching him, but not commenting. Finishing a Christmas journal today. Oh, nice, yeah. So Mama Nook's been doing some junk journals. I can show you mine real quick. I wanted to spend like half an hour to an hour chatting and catching up anyway, so let me show you something. I hope Mama Nook's not uh embarrassed for me showing this, but I'm proud of it and I'm glad to have it and I love it. So she's been junk journaling. Now let me explain what junk journaling is. It's where you take junk mail, newspaper clippings, magazines, yada yada yada, whatever, really, any kind of wasted media, and reuse it. You're repurposing things, and taking new binders, old binders, bindings from books and notebooks and whatever, and forming new books, journals, and really interesting, like, tactile, I'll show you some examples, and like different kind of like pockets, and there's interactivity to it, is the best way that I can describe it. So when she was starting was when I was like, when Snips and I were living with them looking for a house, and she was looking for inspiration on her like first one. I was like, just make me one. Make me one. I've been journaling, I've been like planning out stuff. Like, go ahead and make me a journal. She's like, okay. She came to visit recently. It's like a wizard's tome. It is so thick. It's got 3 Q's on the back end of it. You know what I mean? So Yeah, this is this is the an entire like journal that she made. Um, there, I mean, perfect. It opened up to a Star Wars page where she has taken like Star Wars clippings from the movie, from the image, printed them out, put them on little skeletons and stuff, and lightsabers, galaxy background, and there's like within the book though, there's pockets, all kinds of pockets. So there's like these tags, that sometimes they'll have. Oh, that one's green, so you can see through it. There's Ahsoka. Use your secret scanner card now to reveal the answer. The secret character was Ahsoka. I was a big Hulk fan. Um, there's some of these that have like grid paper on the back of them. So that's like D&D stuff for me. I think about like grid paper. I'm making like rooms and dungeons and stuff. Uh, but there's just different kind of things in here, like stuff. See, there's a thing. There's stuff, and then on the back of the stuff, there's more things for your own stuff, where you can write your own stuff and make your own things. You see what I'm saying? It's just neat. She's making these with a friend. They were making them for fun, and then they started making money. Watch out. So, anyway. They're making some Christmas ones and possibly some like holiday ones and whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to show that because she popped in, said she was working on stuff. But that's my personal journal. That's Mama Nook's first junk journal right there. I was trying to figure out where I could put it. Really cool. Yeah, it's fun. It's just like, and it's, I like it because I can just like flip open to a page, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I'm at the first page, or the last page, or the 300 page, or the 30th page, or whatever, right? It's just like, flip it open, I can start writing, or I can start doodling. In there's like snippets of book quotes and stuff. So there's like a Treasure Island thing, and it's talking about like this Monkey King protecting his treasure, and I'm like, my brain's just like D&D, holy D&D, just D&D, just D&D ideas, D&D ideas. There's grid paper, and there's a monster. I can flip that over and write stats and attacks on the back of it. Like, my brain just goes with ideas. It just makes my brain buzz. In D&D, the tome would work as a weapon. Yeah, totally. I love that. Like, treat it like a double unarmed strike. Yeah. So there's a little bit of heft to it, but you're still swinging the damn thing, right? Yeah. I like that. That's fun. I like that. But yeah, that it feels like a wizard's tome because it's just kind of like, I'm gonna say this, and I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just kind of haphazard, and but it still bundles together and is a book. It's like a wizard's tower that, when you look at it, is like crooked and doesn't make sense, and is like leaning one way, but like it's still a tower. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at. Non-lethal, yeah, totally. It's a cudgel. Yeah. You go hit some dumb bandit with them, and they won't know what hit them because they're too dumb. All right. Anyway, uh, that's what I got to give. That's what I have to offer. Leave your tips at the door. Thanks for being here. Watch out for mimics. A little mimic book would be pretty cool. Stacks of books in a library. Yeah, it's like a stack of books. All right. I mean, it's still only, what, we're only like 15 minutes in. I'm getting so like antsy. I'm like, oh, we should get started. But I'm like, yeah, take some time, just hang out, chat, whatever. Let people roll in, say hi. And I can almost poke myself. Oh, that's so that's so unsatisfying. I was like almost. Man, I just want to so bad. I want to boop myself now, and I can't. But I can boop Luke. All right. How's everybody doing? I'm just trying to like chill out a little bit before we get started. Um, Working, save you. Trying not to panic over the test. Ooh, good luck on your test. Hopefully it goes well. Jesus, there's so many wrenches in chat. Popping open and cast some spells. I just saw your message. It's actually hard to distinguish people because I'm used to Twitch having different colored names. So I'm like, wait, I gotta like read names now. Oh no. I can't just assume it's Merc because it's purple. Excellent collage work. Yeah, it's a really interesting medium. I like it. I'm blue on Twitch too. Yeah, yours it fits. It's all good. First lesson, first one gotta be the rest got the same scores. Okay. I mean, yeah, you should be good, Merc. Everyone is He-Man. We are We-Man. I was gonna say that we are the masters of the universe, but then my brain was like, stop everything. We-Man. That's dumb. That's stupid right there. That's dumb right there. That's horrible. I was like, wait, what does Wee Man look like? I'm like, I don't wanna imagine it. It's probably horrifying. By the collective power of Grayskull. We have the power. If we end up having enough time at the end of today, at the end of these streams in general, I'm thinking about like trying to recreate whatever we're looking at. So I might I might break out my lightsaber later. You know what would be actually I found I don't know if it's any good. We can maybe we can take a look at it. Oh man, I'm not sure because I'm not sure it was on the tape. I've been going through I was going through old DV tapes for a little bit. Like my mini DV camcorder that I used to use to make movies with my friends, where I started out making lightsabers, was on that little DV cam. I've got some footage that we never ended up editing together of myself and my buddy, and like we used the auditorium, the theater, to film some stuff in like all black and just like light up the lightsaber so we looked all cool and stuff. And I'm like, maybe we could edit that together. Maybe there's something to play with there, but I don't know if the footage. I'm trying to remember if I like cut that footage out separate or if I'd have to go in and cut it out because there's so much stuff on there. It's not just that, it's like, this is what I was doing after school that day, and here's me and my girlfriend later, and here's me and my friends later, and here's me and this, and here's a birthday party in the middle of that. Oop, filmed over that to make a stop animation Hot Wheel thing. It's just like so just old tapes. But that could be fun. Possibly using like old footage, cutting it together with like new music and new effects. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take a look at this. I just found it. Uh, there is some extra stuff on there, but I could easily cut that out. I don't know why. I mean, we were just when I was in high school and in like the late part of grade school, my buddies and I we were just obsessed with effects. We were watching people like Corridor Digital and Freddie Wong and people like that making videos. We were following Andrew Kramer's tutorials to put together our own like lightsaber duels and stuff like that. And we ended up making a bunch of them because we had like a broadcast system at high school that we would do morning announcements through. And sorry, I'm just trying to I'm also previewing the tape on the side. And we would do intros for the like morning announcements. And my friends and I were like, cool, we're gonna like make lightsaber movies and force lightning and blow stuff up, because that's movies, that's videos, right? That's how you intro the news. You know, news. God, some of this stuff is just so funny to watch because it's me and my buddy just like so young. Yeah, I can put this on screen for a bit. Yeah, man. Oh yeah. You ready? Oh, oh, oh. The blue is the baby Nook. Red is my buddy Chris. So my idea here, actually, I can actually explain the process I was going through in high school. So I shot this in the theater, shut off all the lights, just had the lightsaber on. And my thinking is that we would shoot all the movements, every shot with a lightsaber in it, in the dark. And then we would shoot all the movements with a lightsaber in them in the light. And then overlay them, because we're perfectly choreographed at the age of 15, 16. And the lightsabers will just line up perfectly. There's no effects work. I'm a genius. Thank you, thank you. It didn't work. Because we're not perfectly choreographed. So like I've got my buddy like jumping off the stage into the pit, and we would record that in the light. My idea was like record this in the light, and then that lightsaber I could just make the black go away. It's called a screen or a lighten filter, to where all the black goes away. It'll just show the lightest part of the image, and we could just show the blade. But you'd have to have, you'd have to be perfectly synced up for that to work. Here I am with my curls and my Jesus necklace. And so we ended up changing the idea to where like the stage light comes on at the end and we meet in the middle. But it's just really awkward because we're like, I don't want to destroy these lightsabers, but they also don't. It needs to look like they clash, but they're made of material that bounces if they clash. So what do we do? But look at the arms on that fella. Is it a rock? Is it a frog? Do I have poison ivy now? Who knows? Anyway, that's Baby Nook trying his best for lightsaber stuffs. Torn Jink. Of course they were. What are you talking about? Those were. Hold up, sorry. Yo, ain't right? What's up? I can't watch, but you know I love you platonically. Oh my god, y'all are right. I haven't seen you in so long. Thank you so much. That's so awesome of you. Holy crap. Old crappy trucks. We got them. Man, our playthrough of Death Stranding is just, it's lodged in my brain forever. That is ultra comfort memories. The old crappy truck brigade. So enjoy your meeting. Thank you so much for the thing. Hello, I hope you're having a good time. I don't even know if you're listening. So, you know, steal second, and we'll see you at home. This is the steeple. Open the door, see all the people. Life is consuming like a python, like a python. You'll get out of it. Make time to find your way out of it. It's important. I also was devoured of time this summer. But just do you. Do what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Yeah, I care about you. Yeah, we're talking about lightsabers today. Lurk. Lurk away. I don't have a bot. Man, it feels so primitive over here. I got nothing. I got nothing. But thank you so much for that. These, I'm trying to remember if these are actually Jinkos or not. Yes, these are Jinkos. Yeah. Those are Jinkos. For some reason, my brain went to trip pants, the like gothy bondage pants that I also wore in high school, which is why I thought of those first. But yeah, those are Jinkos. Same color mods, no bots. Yeah, it's a trip. Oh yeah, trip pants. That's a trip. Loved my trip pants. And yes, I tripped on them. So as I uncover more footage from my DV tapes, I might come across more useful stuff that could be fun to like re-edit sometime, but I'll show you if I come up with anything. Luna, thank you. Thank you for the $5. That's very kind of you. And thank you for your tip on the video the other day, too. Dancing Lemon. The super chats are really fun. All right. Well, it's about 3 o'clock. That's about half hour in. Yeah, we're about half hour in. We can get started. Kind of talk over some lightsaberness. I don't know, we can dig into this a little bit more. Cool. Got you, boss. Appreciate you. So, I wanted to talk about lightsabers today, because it was one of the first things that I learned to do as a visual effects artist when I was a kid. I wish I might, on those DV tapes, have edits that I had to transfer from the computer to school. So it might be possible that I come across an old lightsaber video that I've made. And if I do that, I will 100% share it on stream during our like warm up at some point. Because that'd be just nostalgic for me. It'd be really fun to show. So essentially, with this new idea on YouTube in general, I kind of want to start there, I guess. I'm mirroring what these guys are doing. This isn't the first one. I was gonna do the first one. The first one that they did was on Sonic, the original Sonic the Hedgehog movie design. But essentially, this is, or not essentially, but this is Visual Effects Artist React, a series that I watch a lot. Would love to work with these guys at some point. They are incredibly talented, and I hope to, through this series of like studying edits and visual effects and things like that, possibly get to a point where that might be possible someday. to even just like reach out and be like, yo, let's do a project or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. I'm just trying to hone in my skills and using them as a guide and a benchmark for my personal quality and production and all that stuff. Um, so if you haven't seen this series before, they watch scenes from movies or trends or shows like this version of Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian. The original is a deep fake that it's like a deep fake Disney or deep fake method that Disney specifically came up with to create Luke Skywalker, Carrie Fisher, and Grand Moff Tarkin. Can't remember his name right at the moment, the actor's name, but when he was in Rogue One as well as Leia, they were both recreated digitally through this like deep fake method. And this Luke Skywalker was like really, really off-putting to a lot of people too. Corridor Crew went through and like made their own deep fake of it, recreated all the lighting. I mean, they're showing you the process right there, but there's a whole video on how they did that alone, and that's some incredible stuff that I have no experience with. And so maybe that's something I can fiddle with, play with, get into at some point through doing this series, right? But they go through and they talk about, like, this specifically is a really fun moment, actually. They talk about watching, like, a CG object interacting with, like, CG water. So there's, like, a particle simulation going on with the water, but, like, the way there's suction that, like, lets go of the ship as it comes out of the water. And they're very, very keen on detail and photoreal and like story within an image, or like telling you how heavy an object is. That's the story of that shot. This thing is heavy and it's being sucked out of the ocean, right? And you're getting all that information from a water simulation and a couple CG objects moving, right? It's cool. It's cool, right? It's really cool. So these guys are my benchmark for where I want to be next as an effects artist, as an editor. And this is the beginning of that journey for me. Yeah. So if you're interested in watching more of them, please go to Corridor Crew, check them out, watch all the stuff, and support them. That shot's a model, but this is not CG. That thing on the rail is a camera. Well, that one's CG. They CG'd that, but there's another one that they did a model for. I messed up. I don't remember this episode exactly. Excuse me, but yeah, I mean, there's amazing things done. Well, here we are. There you go. There's the model right there. So it's not all CG now with Star Wars. So that's something we could even look at today. Is that like that? You know, like it's not all CG. That's a set and a moving camera, just like they did the original. I mean, I guess we could do a stream on just how the ships work in Star Wars, or maybe today just turns into like a combo thing. But I definitely want to talk more about the lightsabers. Boom, good transition, Ray. Lightsabers, right? Please go check out visual effects artists, Corridor Crew, all of them. Yeah, they're incredibly talented dudes. They have inspired me to do this. So talk about lightsabers. I have this is the original 1977, I go hide my bookmarks bar. There we go. This is the original 1977 scene of Luke's lightsaber. I want to show you how it looked, and then we'll talk about it. All right. Look at that thing. It's dancing all over the place. Look at it go. You see that thing? It's wiggling all over the place. This is one of the first iterations. This is one of the first times you see the lightsaber on screen. You see it once before when Luke opens it up. Oh, and in the cantina when Obi-Wan cuts Doc what's his nuts his arm off. Ponda Baba. There you go. But for the lightsaber, if I can stay on topic, I can talk about Star Wars a lot. I always thought the ball was held up with a string. In a way, you're not wrong. It's just that the ball isn't moving, the camera is. At least I think for that. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I can't tell you specifically how they did this shot, but like for the ships and everything, that was the idea, is that the camera is moving past a model to give you the perception of depth. My hand is a ship going past the camera, and all of a sudden it seems huge. And I can, but I can just keep my hand here and move the camera toward me. You get that same effect, right? So anyway, with the lightsabers though, the way they originally would do these is by hand on film. Is they would cut out spaces for the lightsabers to be frame by frame. So on a film strip, 35 millimeter film strip, this guy, well, that's like one. You got it up on a magnifying editing machine, and you're in there with your razor, just like slit of film, cutting the slit of film out, and doing that. When you expose the film again, it allows light through. So in the final cut, in those spaces where those slits where light was coming through, and you would get a little bleed of light. That's just what light naturally does. And then I believe some of this was digitally colored. We can look more into that. There is a visual effects artist react episode on. I remember them talking about the lightsaber specifically. Maybe I can look that up for Star Wars real quick, just get a better idea of that. Because I don't remember how they did the coloring specifically, unless it was run across like a colored light, or if the film itself was colored after the exposure happened. I don't know. Let's take a look. We'll see if we can find out. That's kind of what I want to do with the stream, is research as well. Maybe in the future I can do some research beforehand and make this more of like an explainer thing, but I do want to make it kind of interactive. Splicing, in a way, yeah. I mean, splicing is specifically like cutting two pieces, like it's cutting two pieces of film, like, like you would make a cut between two frames to edit, and then put it back together with a piece of Scotch tape or whatever to the frame that you want it on. Let's see if this is it. So here's another thing I want to talk about that we'll talk about in a little bit, is the width of the lightsabers. This one ends up a little thicker because of, I think, of like the angle of the foil that was used here, because the method of this really changed, because in the original, like I was saying, there was nothing physically there to track, and so that's why it's dancing all over. There's no rod, there's no sword beyond the hilt. He's just holding a like a little photo tube, vacuum tube thing, and the people that are editing are guessing where that blade is the best they can, frame by frame. And so that's why you end up with that jitter and how it's like jiggling all over the place. So now it's, is this like the D-Master 4K version? Okay, let's hold up. Star Wars Luke training scene. Did they just like recolor this? It's definitely the 4K. It's higher definition film. You're getting more image out of it, but my bad. Training scene. I don't know. Blu-ray release. It's going to be harder than I thought it would be to find. Man, it is still wobbling all over the place. So, but it does look. That's just a better definition. Let's just go with that one. That's odd. I mean, we can just look at like newer movies instead of like a newer release. I thought that when they remastered those and re-released those, I actually thought they replaced the lightsabers on the original, but it seems like that's not the case. It seems like they may have replaced the blades digitally, but colored them over exactly where they were in the original like dancing map of it, right? I lost track of where we were going with this. Oh, we were just going to look at a newer... Yeah, let's look at, what, Star Wars Episode 9. Sure. Get some lightsabers on screen. It's got to be about 3/4 of the way through. There we go. So Kylo Ren's a completely different, even, monster. But there we go. Ray! You can see the I mean, they're like perfectly tracked now to the actor's hands. You're not going to see any of that like wiggle jiggle nonsense. And most of that is because they're always holding, well, for the most part, I shouldn't say always, they're not always. For the most part, they are holding some sort of blade in place so that the effects artist can go in and know exactly where they're tracing or like replacing something inside of the footage. And I can show like how that digital process is in a little bit. But essentially they'll have some sort of guide. Otherwise, there are ways to 3D track and actually 3D replace or place in a blade. So there's not a whole lot of guesswork. The computer is doing a lot of calculations and being like, the blade's twisted this direction. It's this much smaller on screen. It's this much smaller on screen. And then you can create a blade and hook that to a 3D object. And then the lightsaber is just a 3D object. It also casts light, and you can make that light interact with the scene, yada, 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 right? But some of these lightsabers now are just 3D replaced, and they're just put in after the fact completely. What's up, Law? Welcome in, man. And Luna, I meant to respond, but yeah, the space chase video I did was the inspiration for that space chase video was Star Wars, was the ships flying by and all that stuff. The way I originally animated that, actually the first, let me make sure I'm right. No, I ended up animating the ships. But our first pass on that, the like hyperspace jump that's at the beginning, the light speed jump where everybody's like shoo, comes in real fast, originally was a camera movement. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I had it set up so that the beginning of it, the camera is like way over here and goes like real fast. And that's what they would do for those light speed jumps, is they would do a whole dolly movement in on a ship and then just like play it at 600%. Gone, right? So that was the inspiration behind the space chase video. Yeah. Making the shift to YouTube. I'm trying it. We're doing it. Getting a feel for it, yeah. Man, getting a feel for it and trying to figure out if this is gonna work. I've been a little bit nervous about this, but I hope that what I'm saying is making sense, and that you guys get something out of it, and I also get something out of it, where I'm studying and honing my craft and crap. All that, it sounds really like cheesy to say, but it's what I'm doing. When I come back from hiatus, probably gonna do the same thing. Hey, awesome, dude. Be cool. Love to see some more some law streams. How's the time off been? Hope you're doing good, man. All right, so I kind of previewed some of what Star Wars is doing now. And we talked about kind of what they were doing back then. Let me see if I can find this video where they're talking about that, because I mean, these guys, again, for this video that I'm watching, all credit to Corridor Crew, because they've done a ton of research and work here on putting the footage together. So I think this was actually an early, yeah. So for test footage, for shots when the lightsaber was already extended, they would use this this reflective material, which is what they also continued using into I closed the tab. Into, oh no, I didn't close the tab. It's at the end, it's at the beginning of this video. They continued using that kind of stuff into Return of the Jedi. And you can see that same kind of quality to it. Like, it's kind of like, it looks like reflective material moving in the wind, right? It's just kind of, it looks like it looks like a metallic ribbon or something, you know, just kind of gently like shaken. Mistress, thank you for that. It's very kind of you. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Been good. Gives me more time for wedding prep. Heck yeah, dude. Do miss the stress of maintaining a stream schedule. Just was too much. Yeah, and YouTube kind of demands way less too. So they want 3 to 4 hour streams. So put less stress on yourself, and you know, give it a shot. That's what I'm doing. I'm just giving it a shot. We're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try it for 3 to 6 months. If I hate it, I'll stop. If I love it, I'll keep going. Main thing I'll miss is emotes. Yeah, it is a little different. It's slightly I don't know, like trimmed up or whatever. I can't tell. I can't find the right word for it, but yeah, no, I agree. Do it until June after the wedding. Hey, heck yeah, dude. That's a hell of a break. Good for you, man. You know, I actually want to watch this section again of this video just to make sure that I'm getting my facts straight. Specifically, that we're talking about the lightsaber here. Let's take a listen.
It's nuts. We're gonna explain how they did it.
An elegant weapon for a more civilized age.
Lightsabers!
Lightsabers.
Little hidden jump cut here.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's hidden. It's pretty apparent.
Yeah, look how skinny it is. The blade practically disappears. So the lightsabers, they did a couple different effects techniques when they're doing lightsabers in Star Wars. In the original early Star Wars, A New Hope.
Right, so I want to back up actually for a sec. When they're talking about that pop, I want to explain that just as an editor. I want to talk about what that is, if you don't know. So right now, I mean, he's just holding that, right? He is just holding what is the lightsaber hilt. And about right here, it's about to happen. Here we can, boop. I'm going frame by frame. they told Mark Hamill, hold, and he stopped. Somebody came in and either gave him a lightsaber fixed with this foil they're about to talk about, or, you know, like slid the blade into the handle, right? And they're like, action, and then Mark Hamill keeps spinning the lightsaber, and it gives the illusion of one movement. But if you break it down and you take a look at it, of course, there's a jump there. People move. I mean, even the master, Alec Guinness, moved. He shifted slightly. The master, man. He's yeah, it's subtle. But you got the point across. And this is the first time a lightsaber's ever been ignited on screen. So everybody's just like nobody cares about that jump cut. Everybody's like, wow! Wow! You know what I'm talking about? Like 1977. He's holding a nuclear weapon. Like, it's just like there's nobody cares about a jump cut. Boom. Boom. Like, Mark Hamill's head moves a little bit. But then they're going to explain this a little bit. I'll let them talk about it because I actually forgot about this a little bit until I saw the like warble effect, and I was like, wait, there's foil. I forgot the foil.
It disappears. So the lightsabers, they did a couple different effects.
Oh, but that's a jump cut. If I didn't explain that, that's exactly what I wanted to talk about, is that cut is two different shots, or a running shot that has had a section taken out, smashed together, so that it seems like just one fluid motion instead of two different shots, or awkwardly standing there while somebody comes in and is like, "Here's your lightsaber," and he's like, "Thank you," and then does the thing. So, all right, let's learn about the foil.
Techniques when they're doing lightsabers in Star Wars. In the original early Star Wars, A New Hope, the way they did the lightsabers, they actually
Uranium
had a
rods.
stick in the lightsaber, and it was covered with a retroreflective material. Basically,
And this is what I was talking about later. I mean, they'll talk about it in Empire.
like a safety vest, like when you're out riding your bike late at night.
That's the material I couldn't think of. It's a reflective, like, orange vest, like a safety vest. Oh my god, could not think of
The
it.
stick will basically reflect the light right back towards the camera.
There you go.
And it kind of glows. Once you have that glowing stick, the other artist needs to take the film, project it onto a big cell sheet like they use for animation, and trace out a little spot for the lights.
So this is what I was talking about earlier. They would take the cells of film. I honestly thought that they were doing this on smaller, like, actual film. It sounds like a nightmare, but editing machines have magnifiers and things while you're rolling through and editing and doing stuff. So I figured they were using a similar kind of method, but let's find out.
Project it onto a big cell sheet like they use for animation, and trace out a little spot for the lightsaber to enhance
Okay. So they have a projector.
glows.
Sorry, I'm just gonna like super explain this because even I didn't catch it all. So they got a projector set up. I don't know everything that's going on over there, but it's a projector, right? And then up here, like they were saying, there's a cell sheet for animation. If you don't know about animation, cell sheets and things, they're essentially a transparent sheet. And for animation, you would be drawing one thing on that animation cell the entire time. Mickey Mouse walking, Goofy, whatever, a lightsaber. And so they're working on these transparent cell sheets that they'll expose onto the film later. That's what this is right now.
For animation, and trace out a little spot for the lightsaber to enhance the blade with another little light pass. The thing is, there's some shots that couldn't have the stick on set in the lightsaber. For example, here where Luke is battling the little droid. Well, you can really see it jump around.
Jittering, yeah.
So the artist is literally guessing as to how long the sword is and where it sits in the hilt. And that's the reason why it'd be jiggling up and down.
And so this is what we were talking about earlier, right? Where, like, in this shot, let me back up. The shot itself is written, I'm assuming, or on the storyboard in the script as a wide shot with the chest set, with Ben Kenobi, R2D2, C3PO, a flying droid, Luke Skywalker with his lightsaber. That is all on the shot. One shot. We are in that shot right now. It's what we're experiencing. And so they've had to line up all these things. Then there's a lot of stationary objects, right? Like the stationary or the chess objects are all stationary, and the shot itself is stationary. The camera is on a tripod and not moving, which makes CG effects and computer images much more easy to integrate into a scene, right? And so they've got all these elements layered up, and they want to do the shot with Luke turning his lightsaber off at the end, and that's how it's written. Luke turns his lightsaber off in this wide, and we're like showing off how beefy our effect skills are. But the weak point is the lightsaber is dancing around all over the place, right? And so that's what we were looking at, that cell sheet, frame by frame. They probably go click or watch it scroll, try to line it up, transparent sheet, draw that same, it was about there, right? Yeah, I drew it down to his thumb. It was about the width of his, yeah, right. Okay. And then next frame. And so that's why you got that jiggle, right?
To enhance the blade with another little light pass. The thing is, there's some shots where they couldn't have the stick on set in the lightsaber. For example, here where Luke is battling little droid. Well, you can really see it jump around.
Jittering, yeah.
So the artist is literally guessing as to how long the sword is and where it sits in the hilt. And that's the reason why it'd be jiggling up and down.
Oh, yeah.
It's worth noting this shot has two other
That's exactly how my lightsabers looked when I first started. You know, let's just do this real quick. Where is this recording gonna save? Let me see if I can output recording. That's fine. All right, at least I can find it now. So here we go. Okay. Let me go grab that. I'm gonna open up Premiere. Immersion ruined. Green. I'm just streaming from the fields of Naboo. Don't you worry about my background. What? New? What is new? What's this untitled project? Who's untitled? Oh, this is what I was using for my thumbnail earlier. Look how shocked I am at lightsabers. I mean, like Home Aloneing straight up at lightsabers. But lightsabers, though? Have you thought about lightsabers? Home Alone, though. Lightsabers. Okay. Anyway. So we got our footage. I don't know why my project window keeps moving over there. I'll talk to Premiere about that later. Man, I'm so cool. Okay. So see how quick that was? Where I was like, I'm gonna hit record and we're gonna whatever. I used to record this onto a DV cam, which is physical tape, right? You hook up the tape to the computer, open up the editing software, hit record in the editing software, hit play on the tape itself. That's actually what I'm doing through OBS with my DV tapes on my cam anyways right now. So I'm like having to relive this process. Download it into here. Then you would export this as a film strip, which I haven't done in years. I haven't needed to do this in years. I have no idea. I don't. Let's see if I can figure out the process for this. Perfect. I'm so cool. Let's see if we can just export this guy. Let's learn. Google. I just want to give you a taste of like the process that I did as a kid trying to mimic what I saw on screen. Oh, can I just open up movie files in Photoshop? I feel like that's actually a thing. Giving us those bedroom eyes. I got my lightsaber out. That's all I got on is bedroom eyes, you know? I don't know what that means. Yo. Oh my god. So, back in my day, this thing didn't exist. This little timeline, it would come in as layers. You would have a layer for every frame, right? You come in here. We're gonna have the wind up there. I like that. I like that wind up. All right. So we're gonna pull this up. No lightsaber, no lightsaber, no lightsaber, no lightsaber. Look at the camera. Oh, no, it should come on right there, right? So this right about here. I mean, I don't even know if this is exactly how this works. Is this how this works? Look at my lightsaber. Oh my god, it works like that. Okay, so like as soon as I hit that, you know what I mean? So what I would do, and I mean, you'll see how long this takes as we do it. But I would go to my friend's house. We would spend most of Friday night or Saturday filming. We'd be outside blowing stuff up, fighting with dowel rods that we were going to replace with lightsabers because we got smart and we needed something to track because they look like crap. I'll show you in a sec how crappy it looks. And we would spend all night putting these lightsabers in. So here we go. Let me show you what I'd do. We'd find the frame for lightsabers. We'd go over to the line tool. Bump up your line tool. Is that thick enough? That ain't a thick enough line. Ooh, it's making like a layer down here. Funky. This is actually more accurate. Let me do it this way, because this is another way that we would do this. I'm going to take the polygonal lasso tool. And I'm going to just take from the bottom of my hand, go up here, take a guess. That's way too wide. That's not a lightsaber blade. Oops, messed up. Okay, we're going to go, you know, well, if we start down here, move up here, let's take about the same width there, okay? That's okay, that's cheating. I'm not even gonna do that. So boom. That would be a whole different layer. Couldn't I use paint bucket because timeline playhead is not over the target layer? Oh my goodness. Photoshop, you've grown up and done so many things. How do I don't even know how to do this. But you get the idea. So I don't have to do it with layers. That's fine. I can dodge the layers. That's knowledge I don't have. And it's slowing down my example. Please. I've been hitting delete like 100 times. Please. Anyway, so this whole thing would fill in white. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, but I'm not going to be able to do like my blur and stuff. I have to work in layers. How's this damn timeline work? I got to show you an example. I got to have an example. Video group. Let's see. New video group. Perfect. Layer. Can I layer inside the layer? Oh, but you can't stack layers inside. Okay, so weird. This is funky. We're learning. Accidentally double clicked. That's my bad. Try not to do that again. Okay, so here we are. Bam! And for how this works, or how I'm understanding it right now, let's just do a new video group. Video group 2. Oop, I lost my frame. That's horrible. Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We're good. Bam. All right, there we go. So video group 2, let me add a new layer. We would actually duplicate that white layer. Duplicate the white. I'm going to move that so that I can stack them. I don't know what's going on down here. It's a whole new world. So now you have 2 stacked white things. That's what's been I've been trying to make happen here. You got 2 things stacked up. Why can't I just... What's with the... I don't... Man, this is weird. Photoshop is weird now. What happened? You got 2 stacked white lines. Okay. I'm going to make that top one invisible. We're going to move to the lower one. Somebody give me a color in chat. What color do you want your lightsaber to be? First one I see, I'm taking. Blue. Blue. Set the color. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Bam. You got yourself a basic ass lightsaber. So filter, blur, Gaussian blur on the inside blade as well, but just a tiny bit. Oop, on the wrong layer. That'll do it. What's up, Nobby? I saw your name coming to chat. What is going on? Boom. Look at that. Look at that lightsaber. Once you learn about blurring that inside blade, ooh, it's just all Star Wars from there. So congratulations, you've made 1 frame. This was my grade school and high school experience. This is what I was doing on weekends. When my parents thought I was drinking underage and doing drugs, I came home tired and hungover because I was up until 4 a.m. making lightsabers. It's about 3 hours for about 3 seconds of footage. That's it. Eventually, I just kind of figured that out. I was just like, okay, Jared, you take the first watch. You do the first batch of lightsabers. I'll come in. I'll do the second batch. And like he would take a nap shift. I would take a nap shift. Next morning we wake up and be like, click, 30 seconds of us being like, no sound effects because we just been working on the graphics. And that's lightsabers. That's how I was doing that in grade school and high school, and that's how I got started. This is one of the first things I did as a visual effects artist and editor. I feel weird calling myself a visual effects artist right now because I'm not paid professionally to do that. I'm paid to edit, and I do a little bit of visual effects, so I'm trying to ease into that title. I don't want to take that from people who actually deserve it. You know, it's like calling yourself like sir and knight and all that stuff. Like, it's like, all right, hold up now. Well, this is the first thing I did. I was like 12. I was like, look at my lightsaber. And that's that. That's what I was doing. And trying to think about where to go next. Oh, they were going to be talking about this foil and stuff, right? Or they kind of talked about that already. Right now they're pointing out the other effects in the shot, which is what I was talking about earlier. But how you doing, Nobby? Welcome in, dude. It's good to see you, man. I've been a little focused on what we're on the topic. So Nook. Spaceballs. I'm assuming they do the same thing. I was wondering that same thing earlier. Let's see if we can find some. I'm gonna do that search off screen. Maybe look for some like space balls behind the scenes, or like yeah, let's do that. Let's do space balls behind the scenes. And we'll just kind of flip through until we see some lightsabers. You know, there's another appearance of lightsabers that we could take a look at and see how good they are. Is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Snip's got me on Clerks here recently. Been on the mind. Been on my brain. Yeah, I haven't watched Spaceballs in so long that I have no idea what these effects look like. So that's a really good thought to look at this. I don't see anything in the behind the scenes. So let's just look up Spaceballs. Spaceballs. Schwartz. As big as mine. Do that one off screen. Behind the scenes balls. Yeah, that'll work out great. It's like really, really quiet. That's okay. I just want to look at the effects anyways. I don't want to get us like, I don't want to get them demonetized and crap. I just kind of want to see what's going on here. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. You see it floating around? So, okay, all right, let's just watch the scene. Sorry, I've got so many thoughts just watching that blade extend. So here we go. All right, let's just watch it play out. Yup. Yup. Uh-huh. This is very mature. Prepare for very mature humor. Man, so notice that they're all sitting still. Notice that they're sitting perfectly still. I'm actually like, I want to know how they did this. Oh. Wow, that is put in by hand. There are mistakes, but it looks so clean. That's nuts. Hold up. Spaceballs like doing it good. When did Spaceballs come out? What year was Spaceballs? Whoops. Still scrolling. Not meaning to, I don't want to scroll anymore. Stop. All right. Spaceballs release date. 87. So this was after Empire? Wait, when did Empire come back? Come back. Come out. Yeah. And Return. Okay, so this came out way after the trilogy. I thought this came out earlier. Okay, so this came out after the full trilogy had been released. That's Mel Brooks is dead. 87. Thank you guys. Sorry. Do you ever use the video Copilot stuff for After? Do I ever? Andrew Kramer here, of course, man. Yeah, I mean that's how I was learning some of this stuff way back when. My buddy, I think, was getting some of it through his college courses or something, or had a hookup. I don't know. I barely had internet as a kid, so I was like, "This is a magic wizarding world that I'm being introduced into. I got my letter to Hogwarts, you guys, and it's called After Effects." But yeah. I haven't used After Effects in a while, and I was trying to learn Nook, and honestly, I made that space chase scene, or I colored it and composited it in a Nook. So I understand some of it, and I could fake my way through it, but not a whole lot of practice, and that's why I'm doing this. That's specifically why I'm doing this, because I want to practice and get better. It's fun stuff, yeah. I used Video Copilot specifically for a bullet recreation in Blender in college. I did like a slow motion bullet moment. And then also did the gun like shifting backward. I use that trick all the time on stuff. Well, I mean, like whenever I can, I use that trick. Because it's just so interesting to like just move something in 3D space and it's like completely not actually moving and just it's just magic. That's just a magic trick. What's that, Luna? Oh, my space chase video? Whenever I try to open that, it says something went wrong. Weird. Anyway, yeah, go check that out maybe if it works for you. Anyway. That's okay. I was just curious. So where was I? We started talking about a million things. Video Copilot, lightsabers. All right, I'll go back to my thoughts on the scene. And then I'll point out what I saw earlier, okay? So, when we were talking about lightsabers earlier, and you're watching Luke move around, and you see this thing dancing all over the place. The challenge in that is that your subject, the thing that you're trying to track with the human eye and just hope is Mark Hamill's performance. And they probably told him be still and stationary as if you're like a samurai or something, you know, and so he's still holding it very still and whatever, but he's trying to track this imaginary thing, right? So, Spaceballs. What do they do? What do they do to fix that problem? You know what? Let's make these lightsabers look better. Hold both hands clasped around it. Jam it into your crotch. It's a hilarious joke, but it also is like an effects artist dream because you're like, oh my god, I know exactly where that's coming from every frame. You know, you basically get put the same blade in, and you can see it's pretty clean. Oh, look at that! They put a little like little burst. So that would be like I think like a pen or like a pencil or something, just like pop, like you just poke a hole in the film. And then there would be like a color pass, like they were talking about through the like animation cells and everything. And then it just like just gives it a little bit of eye catch, but you can even see the bottom of this blade. I wish I could like zoom in on this image, but the bottom of this blade stays to the right after this thing moves, and then it catches up with it. You see the lightsaber moves, and then the thing moves to it. And that's like a normal tracking thing. That happens. I do that crap all the time in Ken's videos when I'm like, I can give you guys a preview of tomorrow's video with an example of this. This is how often I deal with that kind of thing, where I'm just tracking something by eye to get it done. So, there's a thing I do with Ken. Maybe it'd be easier to go into Premiere and find this. I thought it was later on in the video. I don't know. Did I edit this thing? Oh, there it was. I saw it. All right. Ken wanted to go Super Saiyan. Cool, right?
was over there in the corner too. She's got like a glass of milk and some Oreo cookies with the cream scraped out, and I'm like, oh, and then I go Super Saiyan.
Now that you've seen that, seen what you're actually watching, just watch the hair. Just watch the hair as this happens. Just watch the hair as this plays. Just focus on the hair. He's talking about Oreo cookies. He's talking about whatnot. See that hair? See that hair dancing all over the place? Who edited this garbage? Can I go frame by frame and freaking me? I should have just gone to Premiere and opened it up and edited it. Yeah, that's what I should have done. But you can see it catches up, you know, like it kind of catches up with Ken. Because I'm going through the timeline, I'm setting keyframes and stuff. There's also like Bezier curves and like the computer's doing math to judge where it thinks it should be. And sometimes I don't feel like fighting that. It gets the joke across that his hair's floating around on screen, and that's all I need, right? So it's fine. And that's why I'm willing to cut corners for a 3-second joke and not make it perfect. You know what I mean? What's up, Fiona? Welcome, man. So that just is an example of this like wavering, floating effect kind of thing that you'll see. So like at the base of the blade, if you just look at where the blade connects, I mean, oh man, did you see that? It started way in the wrong place, or like in a different angle. So you see him, he's holding it straight out and it's shooting up this direction, but he's like holding it out this way. This is the most awkward thing. And then he's like, boop. He picks it up, and the visual effects artist goes, no. And and the lightsaber moves, but he kept it at the same angle. So that same angle tells me that they actually animated this blade. They went ahead and animated the blade and then just moved it into position, I think. Because it's such a smooth, they probably saw that little motion. They're like, God, we're at a different angle. All right, we'll just do this. And then like at that time, or when we reproject the animation cell onto the film, we'll just scoot frame by frame that blade extending up into place. I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing. Again, I apologize, it's so small on screen. I'll try to find a better way to do this, but you see it like scoot up during that little bit because he rotates his hand, and it makes a huge difference. Also, between the two, it'd be much harder to work on his effect shot than it would be this one, because he's on black. It's just kind of like you don't know where the lightsaber is, his hand is, you know, like it's kind of just whatever in general, right? It blends in all the cloak and stuff, but when you get over to Star-Lord or whatever, I've hit the wrong button. You've got all these different colors to fight against, where like you can see his hand, you can see the little R2D2 lightsaber top that he's got. You can see, you know, like there's a lot, like there's more contrast in it than just like a big yes, Star-Lord, man, that's right. I knew he'd get somebody. So yeah, just between the two, like it would be easier to animate Dark Helmet's saber here. And you can see that weird like reflective material kind of thing happening. I really wonder if that's reflective material or if that's cuts. It must be cuts, because hold on, I'll show you what I was looking at later where I was like, oh my god. Because like Dark Helmet's, okay, let me explain what we're about to watch. Dark Helmet's movement in this lightsaber movement is really smooth. And like when I just watched it a minute ago, I was like, that lightsaber movement was perfect. What the hell? But like backing up frame by frame, you'll notice a couple of mistakes. Okay, so that's the movement I'm talking about. Let's watch it one more time. Now that you know what you're looking at. And you might even see some mistakes on the way back there. Whoop, I saw one there. Bam. All right. So just that shot. Just that shot. I thought this was foil. Maybe it is foil with the color pass after, or something. But if you watch, I mean, right there, I just ran over it. If you watch his blade, dark helmet on the left here. Whoop. Boop, 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 boop. It jumps from one location to the other. They like missed a frame of animation of where this lightsaber should be, or they left that in because they are holding rods and reflective material and it needed to catch up to be at the right length. But man, dude, they have got to have some kind of dowel rod or something. That movement, it just looks great, but at the same time, exactly what I said earlier, glove, lightsaber, everything is swallowed up into the shadows right there, into the black. And so like that lightsaber could be pointed any direction, and as long as it like supports the like narrative of the shot that like this thing is swinging in a circular motion, you know, as an attack. That's a weird thing too, right there. For this, oh man, look at that. Okay. I mean, you can tell that like this was hand cut. I'm just wondering what was there first. I wonder if we can find some behind the scenes shots of this. So, watch where the gloves are. Watch where the elbows are. Got some pretty distinct features going on here. These like dryer tube or like drainage tube elbows, you know what I'm talking about? Got spiky gauntlets. What's that frame doing? That frame's coming out of the spiky tubes. It's like coming out of his elbow. It's It's doing This one's I forgot the switch is at its elbow. It's not coming out of his elbow, but that's an original Luke Skywalker. At least it reminded me of that. So like, I don't know, that's just interesting, right? So you can see the mistake, and you can kind of understand why the mistake happened too. Like, there's a distinctive feature, and you get that cell, and it's 2 a.m., and you're like, I gotta get this frickin' Marvel movie done, or whatever. Doctor Strange has gotta kill this kid, and you get to this frame and you're like, wait, is that his gauntlet? Is that his hand? The same thing that was saving the effects just moments ago that I was telling you about, like the gloves and everything like melting together, is like ruining the visual effects artist's job because he's lost track. It's gone. He lost track of where is this hand? Is that a hand? Is this a hand? Is that where the lightsaber is? Is that the glove connecting to the elbow that way, and you're looking at one cell, you know? Anyway, boop, boop, comes out of his elbow for a second, boop. But the rest of that movement is like so good. It's so perfect that it makes me think that they had to have had something on screen. And if you look over at, they had to have had reflective material, right? Ooh, look at that pop. I thought that was smoother when we were watching it in full motion. So if you look over at Lone Star, that lightsaber, pop, 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 pop. You can see them like trying to... that makes me think that there's nothing there though. Like, because if there was like a stick or something to reference, we would have a smoother motion. He does rotate his hand, but can you... Would that be one frame of movement? I don't know. That's wild. I feel like that's added in. But then the way these things interact, they obviously hit each other. Actually, we should watch this next shot. The next shot's gonna be a completely different thing because they actually interact and clash and stuff. Man, I really want to see. I want to see a behind-the-scenes shot of this. Your Schwartz is as big as mine. Behind the scenes. I want to know. I'm gonna spend too much time doing this because I know it's just kind of dead air. But cool lightsabers and spaceballs. What happened to them? Okay, you know, I had an idea. I will write down this question and I will post the answer somewhere later. Maybe I can make a video on Spaceballs if I find some behind the scenes stuff that's worth going over or something. Let me just take just take this down. Things to find, maybe? We can find some behind the scenes Spaceballs. Did they use rods, reflective material? Right, I don't know. We'll see if I can find an answer to that. You know, we can keep just kind of like watching through. So again, like these are really smooth movements. I'm in the camp. If I find proof later, I'll obviously correct my statement, but there's got to be some sort of reference going on for how smooth. And also look at I want to say that like that wobble would be reminiscent of something like if you're tightening up to brace for an impact, you would see that if you watch these couple of frames as he's bringing it up, he's like bringing it up and it would ride your hand, right? But then it tightens up as he braces for the impact, and then he like flings forward for the impact. Psh! You can see him like tighten up on it. I think there's some sort of reference there. But then you're seeing the film straight through it though. You can see the whole window there. But you can see the film, you can see it through Dark Helmet's helmet, but I think that's just a focus issue. Man, I don't know what to think. 2 behind the scenes videos on YouTube, Spaceballs, neither of them have lightsabers. So yeah, I was afraid of that. I got one more idea to look up. Aha, we got a Reddit post. We can see the validity of this, but hold on. Okay. So your answer is, let's see. I think we're all good. Here's our answer right here. Spaceballs visual effects were created by Industrial Light Magic. That is George Lucas's special effects company. In 1987, ILM worked on Spaceballs. So, props. Let's see. Special effects, artifacts. Okay. ILM. Film does end in ILM. Industrial light and magic, just one, huh? It doesn't mention industrial light magic at all else in this wiki. I'm wondering if it's in there. Because Lucas gave Mel Brooks like all rights. He was just like, yo, do it. Yes, please. But I remember him having one stipulation. I can't remember exactly what the stipulation was, but he had like one stipulation. I'm wondering if that's in here. Anyway, the answer is that ILM did the effects. So however Star Wars was doing it in Return of the Jedi is how Spaceballs was doing it. And probably in a more refined manner, which is why it looks good. Which is why I'm sitting here going, why did these lightsabers look so good for being like in the era of the original trilogy, right? You know what? I think I knew this from watching the movie credit. Yeah, right. Like, I feel like I should have known that. I'm like, oh, well, I didn't even think about checking that. But yeah, like, ILM themselves worked on this scene. And this is what we looked up. The Return of the Jedi came out in 83 or something. So this was 4 years after ILM had already like kind of perfected their craft, and they're like, listen, we can do this. You want some penis sabers? We can get you some penis sabers, you know? Dude, these hits and everything. I feel like, you know what this is like, this is what they wanted the original New Hope fight to be. You know, they wanted this like more intense kind of like swings and motion and stuff. But there were so many limiting factors to the choreography itself. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. About that gag. Oh, and their sabers come out of rings. I forgot about that fact. That's a nightmare. Wait. So I'm actually going to back up into the fourth wall stuff because I'm wondering, like, if they show anything effects-wise. There's just, like, a flash of white to be like, yeah, he totally hit that guy. Yeah. Okay. I'm just looking for clues on the lightsabers. All right, Fall Guy, get out of frame. Get out of frame. You're hilarious. We love you. That's just drawn in. That is straight drawn in. That's all drawn in. I mean, you can see it dancing around and stuff. So his isn't even coming out of his ring over there. It's coming out of his hand. Are they holding on to like an iron knuckle kind of thing? Like they're gripping around a like Wolverine's claws. Something like sure, let's do that. Oh, great. It's really small. Anyway, I think it'll get the idea across though. So these are the claws for Wolverine, for Logan, right? Sticking out this way. And then what the actors are grabbing onto is this little, like, I don't know, padded, like, not padded, but it's got this, man, how do you describe that? But it's a little metal piece that keeps the whole thing together, right? And so they hide that with their fingers and their knuckles. And it kind of looks like that's what's going on here. Like, they've got their fingers all balled up, even though it's coming out of a ring. So, like, realistically, you could just be like, "Bleh!" And maybe this is like ILM being like, you don't keep your knuckles balled up, I'm gonna come over here and show you how and ball up your knuckles across your face. You know what I mean? Like, they're just like, save us time, please, and just ball up your knuckles. Or maybe they have some sort of thing in place for the clashes, to represent the blade, because if there's just two guys on set swinging invisible ring blades at each other and ILM made it look this good, I quit. I quit. The only thing I can think of is that after the fact, when they're doing like animation cells and all this stuff, is that they have found some sort of technique to improve on what the visual effects artists were talking about earlier. I closed the video, god dang it. But what they were talking about earlier with that projection system on animation cells, and maybe, like, you know, they figured out how to line up certain angles or whatever to make it look like it's coming out of the right spot. But if you're telling me that these dudes just like swung nothing at each other and then ILM put this fight scene together, I'm hella impressed. I am so damn impressed. I love that we're watching more Spaceballs than Star Wars. I mean, that's full on animation right there. Right, obviously. I don't feel like that's a mystery to anybody. But, like, completely different problem. So these two guys are holding nothing. And the animation artists are just doing their best. They're just like tracking. He had nothing. There's nothing. There's no tracking. Am I quitting today? Is this the first and last episode of Effects and Edits Explained? Dude, ILM is just, they are actual magicians. Literal wizards. It's not perfect, but holy God. The way that they tracked that is incredible. That's not even... You guys see that, right? So earlier they showed the saber coming out of the cobra mouth, this cobra head here. He got it coming out of his out of his thumb. All right, how did that one go? Sorry, I'm enjoying watching this whole thing though. So it's already on. See, they didn't do the like ignite on screen, or they did it as it came on screen, you know, so it looks like it's, yeah, see, it's already on, even though in the previous shot he turned it off. Crazy though. But they avoid that awkward, like, slippy movement. Or is, oh, now it's coming out of the right place. They were like, oh crap, I missed it on that first one. Nah, no one's gonna notice. That is all manually done. I'm gonna have to look up who the visual effects are, like who actually put hands on this movie, other than just saying ILM did it, because, like, I mean, those things are crazy, but I mean, he's moving all over the place, right? He's moving all over the place. There's nothing, there was no tracking there at all. There was nothing to track at all. No way. Nothing to track there. Nothing to track there, dude. Look at those movements. I love the swings. So that's another trick with the lightsabers here. And maybe that's why these like these swings, like these big arcs look so good, is because they would cut out more of the film to give them like a motion blur kind of effect. And so it looks like the light is trailing on a previous frame or like through the frames of film, right? And so you're getting this like ghosting effect. But they're like just cutting out a triangle. And that's what I would do like in Photoshop when I was showing you earlier. I guess I should have left that open. That'd have been fun to play with. But on those movements where I would move in front of my face, do that kind of thing, I would do the same kind of thing where I would just be like, draw it in a wider angle to exaggerate the movement, right? And so you get those, man, dude, those arcs look so good. But this is the same shot. This is the same shot from earlier where there was nothing. What are those black specks that show up? Is that literally just film dirt at the same time? Or same place? Same time, same place? That was just weird. I saw... Oh, no, it's a different spec. Never mind. God, the angles look so good. That animation is so good. But I guess it's because you also... Oh, man, never mind. Look at that. We went weird on that one. So they just had him swinging back and forth. Because this is the same shot, right? I gotta back up. Sorry, I'm sorry. I keep saying a billion different things. I'm having so many thoughts at once. Nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing up my sleeve. I mean, the ignition is rough. They're also like, man, they're playing Star Wars rules so hard where they're like, we're just making it come out of the fist. Because the ring is like obviously way off to the right here. I want to see that moment that it passes through the coat. I want to see how much it's cheated. Oh, okay, so the coat is actually further in front, so that makes sense that it does that. It's just an awkward frame. So yeah, they just had him come in here and swing around crazy. And then manually went in and drew all those arcs. Are those the same arcs? Like, were they able to use any of the same frame cells for that? Like, is that the same cell as... No. Oh my god. And there's nothing to track. Insane. They must have come up with something by the time Return of the Jedi came out, or after Jedi came out, to track and better place these blades, because the work on this movie is actually pretty incredible.
How will he survive?
You know, I gotta say, Spaceballs, probably the best lightsabers. At least of the original trilogy, of that era. I mean, that's funny that's where their perfected lightsabers are of the original trilogy are in Spaceballs. That's great. Thank you for bringing that up, because I was also thinking about that earlier, and yeah, I wasn't sure how that would go, but that's really fun. I really want to know more about this. I'm like, that's crazy that I want to know more about how they tracked all this manually. I'm like, in my brain, I'm like that Always Sunny gif with him just like, and there's like red string all over the wall. My brain is just like red, like a yarn ball, like scattered right now. I'm like, okay, so if he's got the animation cell, and if you're looking at a cell and you're looking at a piece of film, you got to figure out the perspectives. You got to run string across your like animation cell to figure out where the thing is. Is that what they're doing? Are they running string to like cut the right space out? I don't know, man. I think it's hella impressive. For that time, I got no idea what kind of computer imaging technology was available for this, but I do see some of the things in here. It's kind of getting away from lightsabers a little bit, but it will talk a little bit about a different kind of effect. There's something familiar going on or similar going on here. And these strikes look so good. They must have had something in these close-ups. I gotta look at them again. Those are almost like shot for shot the New Hope lightsaber hits too, but they just look really good. The thing I was gonna point out is we're getting there, I promise. Come on now. Right here. So if you look at the lightsaber up there, the lightsaber. Okay. Oh, you can see it way better over here. You can see the like vents and the light behind it. And maybe that was intentional at the time as like an idea that like you'd still be able to see light. I don't know. Whatever. The effect is very, or like this issue of like being able to see the film through it was one of the first things that I remember learning about special effects before I was able to get my hands on a computer. Is this just turning into how I got into visual effects? It might be just turning into how I got into visual effects. I promise we'll circle back to lightsabers at some point. But the original Empire Strikes Back Hoth battle. I don't know if we're going to be able to get the shot that I want. Ooh, look at this person. I love this person. I love who they are and what they do. I've never met them before. Star Wars Comparison Channel. Thank you. Holy crap, Star Wars Comparison Channel. Oh. Is this the one? Yeah. So, when I first watched Star Wars, I first watched the VHS versions that my uncle had. And something they pointed out in the special features, behind the scenes and stuff, is during this shot, and it's actually kind of hard to see. It looks like they've, for some reason, it's here on the special edition, but on the DVD, you don't really see it. And none of these are the original cut. You can kind of see it on the despecialized too, but if you look at the frame of the snowspeeder, so we're inside one of these ships right now, inside of this frame that is supposed to be solid steel, you can actually make out the image of the AT-AT Walker and its feet and the shadows, the ship that flies by, you can see the blasters. That's the biggest show, right? You can see the blasters through this. And I'm trying to figure out, it must be a process where they the only thing I can think of right now, without looking up more, is like they were showing those animation cells earlier with the projection images and all that stuff, right? When you're exposing film, this cockpit image will be laid on top of whatever you're shooting, and you can shoot the film underneath it, okay? But you got a lot of light projecting the film up at your snowspeeder cockpit. And so even though your cockpit is black, even though those images are black that you're laying down, you're shining a hell of a bunch of light through it. And so your black ends up backlit with whatever your image is. And so you're seeing some of that image through the cockpit, and you're seeing some of the layers come apart here. So that meant that I'm assuming that the laser, or the shots, the blasts were done before the cockpit was laid down, because otherwise they would have cut those blasts around the cockpit for that shot. How you can see when they went into the 2006 cut, they went in and digitally replaced all the blasts or blaster effects and things like that. And you can see that it's cut off, but through here you can distinctly see that red line shoot through the black space, and it's because it's It's an overlaid image on top of projected film that's having a ton of light shot at it, so you're able to see through these black bits of the video. And so that other effect that we were looking at, I would assume, over here, we're seeing the vent. You can see that dark space right there. We're seeing the vent through this because, again, we're in that setup that the visual effects artists were showing earlier. I wonder if I can look that up. We can look up that projection system, see what that looks like. That'd be interesting to learn about. We're looking at a big animation cell that's laid over a projector that's shooting the image at it, right? And so you've got your green lightsaber that you've colored on this transparent animation cell, and you've laid it over the projection to be filmed and composited into the final product. But again, you have a ton of light shooting from behind, so your light sources are going to shine through. Whatever the brightest spot of the image is going to come through. And that's what's happening right there, is you're kind of getting like if you've ever worked in Photoshop or with any like blending modes inside of anything, you're getting like a lighten effect or like a screen effect, that kind of thing when you're looking at something, or like a vivid light effect. Maybe that's what vivid light refers to in Photoshop, is like a backlit like projection kind of thing, because that is what you end up a little bit with within Photoshop. Let me see if I can find, what would those be called? Visual effects. Let's see, effects artist. I believe it was like a special effects artist. Projection setup. I don't know, Google. ILM special effects artist projection setup. I'm seeing like some stop animation. Oh man, here's my hero. Seriously, I love this guy. He's my hero. Boop, they'll tip it. Those AT-ATs, that battle of Hoth made such a lasting impression on me. And he animated every single one of those movements, so just appreciate that guy. Seeing a lot of the Hoth. I guess I can show this stuff. There's nothing been crazy yet. This is kind of the direction I'm thinking, though. Can we do a search on that? Oh, that's just gonna give me more fill tippet. It's showing me so much Hoth. It's nuts. Didn't expect that. Okay, I'll look. You know what, let's bring up the visual effects artist video again and see if they mention more, like, specifically what that thing's called. Now, I haven't even gotten into animated Star Wars. But the cool thing is I'm setting up a lot of, like, knowledge for you to have to appreciate what the animated Star Wars does and why Dave Filoni is such a king. Alright, well, that's too far away. Let's go to VFX artists, react to Star Wars.
Elements on the chess table.
What is this thing?
Sheet like they use for animation. Will basically take the film, project it onto a big cell sheet like they use for animation, and trace out a little spot for the lightsaber to enhance the blade with another little light pass.
Man. Yeah, this might be a thing that I have to look up later. That might take a little bit of research. Let me take that note. So, ILM projection stations for animation and effects. I don't know. That's yeah. That's a very interesting piece of equipment there, and I don't know how to refer to it. Okay. So anyway, when I was talking about like how I was thinking about how these things would be mapped out better and all this stuff, is I was thinking like, okay, so you could like pin a string here and run it down here and pin a string there, and you can end up like using strings across this board here in order to map out the correct perspectives for the lightsaber. It still depends on the strings being in the right place and the human eye being right, and you know, all that stuff. But that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, maybe that was a way that they could hone that in, and maybe they did. I'm not sure. I'm unaware of that. But let's see. I do want to talk about animated Star Wars a little bit. So the animated Star Wars projects that have been going on. This is from Rebels. Shoot. Star Wars Rebels, I believe. Yes. And you'll notice that they have these like really thin lightsaber blades, and it's a callback to what we've been looking at, right? We've been looking at these blades that are cut out of slits in film strips or on animation cells to allow light through, and you can see at moments like that when Luke reaches down to like catch a blast to defend the blast. You might be able to notice, I think, if I can get to the right spot. See how thin the blade goes? He's rotated, his hand is like rotated so that like the reflective material that's flat is now straight on at the camera, and so you're getting like a very smaller reflective beam, right? And so the new animation projects kind of go back to that style. Some of them, Rebels specifically, it seems like each project kind of takes its own lightsaber style, which I like, I admire, I don't care. It's artistic interpretation. I love it. I like this idea that maybe there's certain blades that cut like this, or just like through this artist's eye, they remember the lightsabers being like this, or imagine them like this. And I just think it's really neat to have this like this history of just like the technology of a thing is preserved within a CG environment where you could perfectly recreate lightsabers like they do today. Where you can create fully CG 3D modeled lightsaber that tracks to somebody's hand as he spins it around in a space, right? And instead they've gone with like a thin blade and just to give that like older feel, or maybe even to like give nostalgia to the viewers, to set the like time and tone of the piece being around, you know, focused around Vader and through him, that era of Star Wars. My thoughts, not sure. Does anybody have any like questions or things they want to see or things they want to like hear more about or anything? I feel like I've kind of run dry a little bit. I guess we could look at more like, let's see. I'll take a look at lightsaber fights. Can you send me a lightsaber? Well, I might be taking a trip to Disney at some point, so you know I can actually make that happen for a very select few people. All duels in Star Wars. Well, why not? So I was watching, I don't remember how much I played of this on stream at the beginning of stream, but I was watching an Adam Savage visual effects artist react earlier, and he was talking about how episode 1 was the last film to do any physical model ships. So like the Queen ship, the the cruiser, forgotten the name of it. Anyway, all that stuff is like actual models, like we were talking about with the ships earlier, which I thought was pretty neat, is that they were still trying to use that a little bit and not completely go CG yet. I think maybe they didn't know how to make the interactions work at the time, but who knows? Who knows? I'm here to look at lightsabers. If I remember correctly, there were absolutely stand-in blades, so that the actors actually are swinging something at each other. They make contact. The choreography makes sense, and all this stuff. And so that right there. Oh no! Well, they didn't include the light. I guess this is their lightsaber fights. I was like, they didn't include the lightsaber scene from the beginning of Phantom Menace when they're battling the droids. But this is the first time lightsabers have been seen in 20 years, 30 years, 25, 30 years. How long was it between episode, Return of the Jedi and Phantom Menace? But you can see the colors took on way brighter qualities. Ooh, I want to hold up. I'm backing up on this one. Maybe it's his cloak flying around. And you can see that like all the sabers are basically perfectly tracked. And at this point, I would like there's obviously stand-ins. They're fighting with actual blades of some sort in order to make contact, like I was saying, to make the choreography make sense, feel good. Man, where was that? The lightsaber is drawn over his pants. Look at this. He kicks. His pants go behind the lightsaber. I guess that's his actual stance. Is that his pant? Oh man. But it like... That's so funky. You see how funky that blade's like flipping around? Oh, did his pants get caught on the stand-in rod for the lightsaber? Is that what happened there? He does this kick. Yeah! Oh my god, that's exactly what happens. Look at that. So he makes this kick. His frickin' skirt flies up. And it wraps around the stick that represents the lightsaber. Whoop! You can see it. It blocks. It gets hung up on the actual double-bladed lightsaber. Comes down. And the effects artist is just like, well, it's got to be a lightsaber, so it's a lightsaber. It's still a lightsaber. We're faking it. It's a lightsaber. But I mean, it happens in a bam. Nobody noticed. No, who's this asshole? You know what I mean? But that's visual effects artists just making it. They're just like, whatever, man. That's just the tip of the lightsaber now. That's interesting. That's funny. That's funny. So you can see there's these moments, like I was talking about the thin lightsaber blades. You can see them here too. They even do like thin blades tracking the rods that they have in the lightsaber hilts. Is that lightsaber's in this? Somebody just saved themselves like 10 minutes of work. Watch that lightsaber. Watch Obi-Wan's lightsaber. His hands move, swinging, swinging, swinging. Somebody said, not that one. That one is the same. He's holding his lightsaber right there. And the lightsaber just kind of catches up with his hands. Boop, just like one frame later. God, I could just watch this fight. I just love this fight so much. So let's head to. Well, I mean, this is as new as lightsabers get, I think. Just about. As this shot, this scene from Kenobi. I'm just wondering how this looks across the edge. Okay. Anyway, I'm sitting here like critiquing ILM and Disney right now. Jesus Christ. But again, at this point, this is like cake to ILM. They've got stand-in rods for the fight, for the choreography. They've got techniques that they've figured out over the past frickin' what? 50 years? 40 years? 50 years? Just about. To make these things contact look good. So here, oh, actually, something I just thought about that I haven't talked about at all. We've been talking about the blade. We've been talking about putting a blade in the picture. We've been talking about coloring the blade, cutting the blade out, applying it digitally, all this stuff, right? So what happens when you shoot a scene and you don't have a blade or a stand-in, or what they've done recently? I don't know how to best represent this, but what happens when you don't have a blade in place that gives off some sort of light? Like they've done some sorts, they've done stand-in blades more recently, especially this fight here, where the blade itself that the actors are using for the choreography emits light. So there's light in the scene. Obi-Wan has blue cast across him. Vader has red cast across him. It's hitting the set. You know, it's interacting with the camera lens. The camera lens has flares going on that are natural from the light of these things that the actors are actually holding, and it's coating everything in light. And so you can see these like really defined edges. You can see all this color that's pouring out of these blades, and that's what you would expect from a saber made of light. But look back into here. Episode 1. I mean, this is after ILM's been formed. They've taken a big break. They know what they're doing. They've done a billion other movies. How is a blade so bright that it overexposes the camera? Because essentially that's what you're looking at, is overexposed footage. But it doesn't shed any light on your actors. Obi-Wan doesn't have any blue on him. I mean, Darth Maul's red all the time, so he's kind of a cheap thing, right? And they're in a bright space. This would be lit and shot differently if it were a dark space. But you would still expect to see color fall off and light fall off on the black, in these dark spaces, especially in that shadow. All that shadow would be lit up by this bright ass blue beam in the middle of Obi-Wan's hand, right? You'd be getting some on the wall. You'd be seeing some reflected on the floor. You might even get some like interaction with the camera lens, like I was talking about earlier, where you're seeing like simple flares and things like that. But now they actually shoot with blades that emit light. I put it in the thumbnail. Let's go look up. Yeah. Best example because it gets the color out of your head. I feel like the color is very distracting and makes it very fantasy and stuff. Those are just big lit up sticks. Ta-da! We fixed lightsabers. They're big lit up sticks. And you get all of that light on the bridge, on her thigh, on her clothes, on her face, lighting her from beneath. You know, you get all of that lighting, that fall off from the blades. Ooh, this makes me want to go back and look at the lightsaber. So look at this original Luke scene. We're in a dark space. Any shadows on Luke should be blue. Any shadows like around in the ship and in a general area should be blue. I think even like Chewie and like some of the under the table might have some blue or some shadows going. Also, there's no reflection on R2 for this bright lightsaber swinging through the room. You know what I mean? So like even, can you imagine that even in 1977 they hadn't figured everything out, that they made some mistakes? They did that in the animated shows with the sabers, and I think that's what made the animated shows so compelling and interesting too, is because you get all of that light pouring off of them. Let's go back to this lightsaber duels. Let's look at episode 3. So, okay, hold up. No, perfect. Holy crap, perfect. Look at Yoda. Yoda's green, right? He's got green on him. Well, how'd they do that? Because it's all CG. This is easy. I don't have to put color on an actor that's like this. Count Dooku's face there should be no shadow. Count Dooku's face should be red, and he should be menacing. And it would be so dope, too, if Count Dooku's face was just like... But instead, he looks like a scared old man in the shadows. You know? Like, it's unfortunate that these weren't able to light up at the time. Because these shadows should be just blooming with light. They should be red and green. They should be making the nasty, like, brown, yellow... You know? Oh man, the floor! Look at the floor! There's no lights on the floor. There's no shadows on Dooku. There's no shadows on Anakin. Only shadows they got are well, let's see. When they step through this spotlight, is that even I don't even know if that spotlight's real or if this is all on a green screen. I mean, the way that these movies were shot was basically all green screen. So I wouldn't be surprised if everything is put in. Is digitally recreated or set in, except for maybe like the ship ramp or maybe a few set pieces to give some like reference, right? But like there's like you should be able to see Anakin. Anakin should be completely lit up in red right now, haloed in blue, with like a trim of green on the right, and Dooku should be completely red, with his lightsaber. You know what I'm talking about? So like these super bright light sources aren't giving off light. So what's going on here? What happened there? We go into a close-up. Look at this dark space. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's no light over there. What are you talking about? Wait, hold up. Sure. This works too. Where's my light? Where's the red light? Why isn't Vader just bleeding red light right now? Spoiler alert. This was the scene I was thinking about because this is very similar to that one. There should be, sweeps of blue and red, but like we were talking about earlier, what they were holding on set. Why do I keep closing the VFX artist? I feel like I'm like stealing their content or something, I guess, but I'm just using it for reference, really. Whoops. So as they were pointing out earlier on set, these guys are just waving around little reflective material, right? I mean, you guys remember. I just like having the component on screen when I'm referencing it. It looked like they were about to talk about some more color stuff there. So, this is what they're swinging around on set. Of course, it's not going to emit any light. I'm really curious, though. I'm really curious. I mean, so the shot itself, this whole fight scene is they walk all over the place. But how much trouble would it have been to have just had some guys off screen with a couple of lights that are red and blue and just being like, all right, Jeff, you're on red. Dave, you're on blue. Whenever he swings it, you swing that blue light, you know, and somebody's off screen just being like, following with the light. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that could have added something, but the silhouettes is beautiful. It looks gorgeous. I've never, ever in my life had an issue with this scene. It's gorgeous, but if you think about it, it should be lit. So, so I'm really glad I popped this video open, because this is what reminded me. You can see that blue light is pouring onto the actors. It's interacting with the clothes. It's on their face. It's reflecting off the floor. None of this is the animated fight scenes. Let me duplicate this tab. Let's see if we can find like all animated lightsaber duels. Let's do it. Beautiful. So let's just, I mean, eventually a lightsaber duel will start, right? I'm on a video called All Lightsaber Duels. I mean, you can see it right there. It's subtle. It's low quality. Is that on me? All right, that's on them. But you're getting some blue. Or at least some light. Or did they not do... No, yeah. Oh, look, there you go. Grievous is all lit up, man. This is a perfect scene. A perfect scene to example this, as long as they turn on a lightsaber. Come on, Grievous, where you at, man? Turn on your collection. You know you like show it off, baby. There it is. Alright, so you see. You can see clearly his left shoulder is more blue than his right. So you're getting that fall off. You get that more interactivity of the light. And this kind of thing was explored during the animated show. Oh man, you're getting all kinds of light on Maul. This is all so apparent to the relevant to the new show too. Oh, look at that red light on Maul, man. Can you imagine if episode 1 had that? Alright, sorry. Be so good. And the Dark Blade's a really interesting thing to watch too. I guess that's something we can look at next. Because it I'm trying to figure out if it is showing any light right now. And I'm trying to figure out if it's supposed to. We'll go look at some Mando clips in a sec. The weird... hold on. It's like when they clash, the color goes away. Because I was like, he's getting lit up, but it's white. Like when there's no red being poured on the fighter with the Darksaber there. I'm gonna back up and look at the lighting coming off the saber. None. Zero lighting. Zero lighting. It is a black object with a blurred halo around it. Yeah, let's go to Mando. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Darksaber has light coming off of it in Mando. I want to say they use the same kind of blade that Ahsoka uses. So... Darksaber fights. all Darksaber scenes. Beautiful. I saw animated and... Man, I wish the quality wasn't so low. It's killing me. And this is why I can, like, prep stuff in the future, possibly. Even though, like, this is kind of the process that I'd be going through anyways, is just kind of naturally discovering these things, and I'm enjoying doing that with you guys, but I don't know how boring this is. We were just watching this. Let's move on. Next Darksaber fight, please. Another Darksaber fight. Mostly red hues coming off. See, okay, so now we've got some light for the Darksaber. So the Darksaber does give some light off. Oh, and you can see it there in the dark as well. Yeah, it's obviously like swinging light around. Interesting. See, it's really back when I was doing these lightsaber videos and everything, I had an idea, and it makes me sound like I came up with it first, but I had an idea for a Darksaber. I wanted to make a Darksaber movie, but I was like, the way that I was thinking about it was like it would absorb light. It's made of something that absorbs the light around it. So when you look at it, it would just be a void, which is boring in a dark space. So I understand the white outline, and I really dig the white. But I think that, like, when they clash, it would be more of like a black hole. Like where that spark of light is coming, I just feel like it'd be like it would just like like Spaceballs, how they like got all tangled. It would just kind of be like actually locked together. You know when lightsabers get locked and they're like, why did the light get locked? They would actually happen. Like the Darksaber would be like, you know, and like I feel like that'd be so cool to see on screen. This like vacuum saber. Lightsaber flickers and dims. I have one 3D printed. I've got a small version of it's a lamp, so it emits light. I guess I could have used that to answer the question. Anyway, let's go see the. Oh yeah. Man, I got so excited seeing that for the first time. Holy crap, man. That TIE fighter hit the ground. That Darksaber came out. Oh, I was just like, ah! Such a cool effect. And luckily, frickin' Mandalorian is highly, highly documented behind the scenes. So this is stuff that we can take a look at. So yeah, I mean, you're looking at it. You're looking at exactly what they're using right there. Boop, right there, man. So there he is. You can see the blades lit. I don't think it's doing much for the camera that we're looking through, because the space is bright and we're just a documentary camera. RoboCop's in the background. What's up? Yeah, look at that. Like that's on set. That's on set. How sick is that? Like, look at it interacting with armor. It's gorgeous. But I guess the like my Darksaber black hole saber idea would be like the opposite. But I don't know how you would actually apply that effect. Do I need to make a Darksaber black hole video? I don't know. It's, things. Let's do. What would that effect look like? Darksaber reflection experiment. I don't know. Maybe that's something we can do. I'm just writing down ideas. Who knows what to do? Who knows what we'll do? Trying to figure out how would you make that work with Vanta Black and still have some sort of light emission for a legit physical one. To make that effect happen on set, yeah, I have no idea. My idea would be to take this, map out, or like matte out, I guess, the white, the reflections that happen. Like you would take this shot that's happening right now, where Mando like takes the saber from behind his helmet, right? Boom, 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 boom. There's your shot. You take the brightest parts of the shot, you turn them black. And you would apply that back over. I don't know what that would look like. Might look like crap. Might look like nothing, because it's black and cameras run on light. And that's kind of where the issue comes from, is or where it runs into with a camera, is that in order for something to be exposed or to be seen, it has to have light on it, which means that a dark saber in a dark space or around a dark room or in a dark place, you wouldn't be able to see it at all, which makes it scary. But you'd have to show it more in a lit space, or specifically against other sabers or whatever. Like, it has to have something to be compared to, right? You know what I mean? Because the basic mechanics of how photography works do not agree with a dark saber, a black, like, vacuum saber, right? Vanta Black absorbs all light, so that'd be quite tough. From the handle for sure, wouldn't project that far. Would that add to it though, since it would give the idea of it absorbing light? The light shining on Vanta Black paint looks like. I don't think the blade would have to have a portion of non-Vanta. I'm gonna have to look at this Vanta. Vanta, one of Vanta? Vanta Black. Brand name of a class with super black coating. Got you. Yeah, I've seen this stuff. So it's like, has literally no shadows on it. That could be used in a lot of different. I'm like, my brain's like straight to horror with that. I'm like, ooh, I could use that. That looks really neat. Let's see, we talked about lightsabers and dark sabers. We talked about light. And I guess I can talk more about that. So, like, from the visual effects side, when you're back in 1977, 80, 83, 84, when you're working on Spaceballs and in 86, you don't have all these fancy blades on screen. There should be, orange and green over here, and his hand should be all lit up. There should be orange light and green light reflecting off of all these edges on the glove and the clothes and all this stuff, right? It'd make it more realistic, more dynamic of an image. But I mean, it's a comedy movie, so you got it across. It doesn't matter. But there are ways that you can go through and do like color passes on things like this, isolate the actors, and apply color grading when there is none, right? And I'm trying to think. Let's go back to all lightsaber duels. Oh no, yeah, we were just looking at this earlier. Ooh, Grievous, again, CG character, has light on him. I was wondering what the lightsaber duels in episode 3 looked like, and if there was any kind of thought on lighting on the characters when lightsabers are going. Like, again, they were using them on the CG characters, which is weird that they would do that. I guess it's easier to set up a light source and have it like interact with the character than it would actually save on like processing if they didn't have the light interact with the CG character, which would make it more consistent with the rest of the Star Wars canon. But instead, they decided to make the CG characters stand out and look better by putting light fall off on them that actually wasn't on the real characters. Odd choices. Odd choices. That's what I just have to say, odd choices. Man, I just can't get I can't get over the lighting now. I can't not see it. He should be red. He should be red. All the just red. Red. Everything should be red. The Samuel Jack should be purple. He should be purple. He should be red. Red. Blue, green, red. Blue. Red, green. Green, red. Purple, green, red. Yellow, green, brown, purple, brown. Oh, it's all. I said because the colors are mixing, it's all just turning into awful. Red, the purple, and the red, purple, woo, red, purple, red, purple, red. There's none of it. Did they do anything for the lightning? I'm wondering for the force lightning if they added lighting, because they definitely did in the original trilogy. They thought about it for lightning, but they didn't do it for lightsabers. It's really just weird. They didn't do the force lightning. I gotta see force lightning. All right, come on now. All right, let's do it. Yeah, force lightning. There's force lightning in this shot. All right. But is Sidious also CG in this shot? What are we looking at? What am I looking at right now? Oh, come on now. All right. You're cutting out right when I need it. All right, force lightning. Oh God, I'm not even on YouTube. Oh God, where am I? Now I'm just like stuck on the lighting. All right, here we go. Force lightning. Scenes. Do it. Okay, so we're looking at Dooku. Yeah. So they did it with the force lightning. You see Dooku, he's got blue in his hair and his beard. He's got blue that travels up his arm. Or maybe I'm making that part up. But his hair and or is that just lens flare? Is that There's extra light on his face. There's extra light on his face. They either digitally went in and lasso tooled his freaking face and masked it out and put a brightness filter on it, or they from off screen turned on a light and went boom to take care of that. But no light on Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's got a bright blue lightsaber. He's got lightning. He's got lightning from the sky. Do you know what I mean? He's got lightning shooting at him. The thing that lights up the night when you're just sitting here and you're like, all right, thunder, 1, 2, 3, and then, or it's backwards. Whatever. You're counting because the lightning went off. No light. No light. CG character, light. We'll see this close up where he deflects the lightning. There's light. There's extra light. That's blue light. Boop. Blue light. Or did they just mask it? Did they just... Is that just... I don't think there's actually more light in this shot. The shadows aren't lighting up. They stay consistent. There's no extra lighting in that shot. They were applying filters and masks. Oh my God, is there no light? Dude, he's standing still. Just shoot a blue light at him. But they did it for that? If that blue light's in the other sections, it's very subtle. It's way too subtle. And it got completely just overwritten with whatever the effects artists were doing in the background to get that lightning on screen and stuff like that. Luna with Eclipse. Phantom Assistant, thank you. Thank you for grabbing that. What is that? Red, purple, blue. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you for grabbing that. All right, so this is what I was freaking out about that they cut away from. Did I cut? Oh, I actually skipped it. He gets his arm cut off after he gets shocked. All right, I'm looking for changes in actual lighting. No new shadows, no new shadows, no new shadows. I don't think there's any blue light on set. They shot some at Anakin though. Just watching the shadows, see if they light up. Oh, yeah, they're shooting him with light. Okay, hold up. Mace is getting shot with light. It is so hard to see through all this. I don't think there's any blue light on the man emitting the blue light. I'm looking for changes in shadows. God, he looks insane. All right. But there is light being flashed at Samuel Jackson. There's light being flashed at Anakin. In this wide, there's no light. Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You gotta be kidding me. This is episode 3. Yeah, this is episode 3. Hold up. I just have to show you. Okay. We've got Ian McDermott. We got Mace Windu. We got Ankelman Skymaker over here. Okay, here's the window. Let me get a different material for the window, so it kind of makes sense. Window. There we are. All right. We're looking at it from above. I've kind of got like a 3/4 view for the window, just so you understand where the placement and everything is, right? But we're looking from above. All you gotta do. I've actually got a couple. We're just gonna put one strobe here, which is, okay, and then we're gonna put one strobe. Let's draw this from the side now, from the angle that we're looking at. Actually, I don't need to draw anything else. So we're gonna put a strobe over here that's shooting at Ian McDermott, whatever his name is. And it's hitting this side of Mace, it's hitting this side of Anakin, and it's hitting Palpatine. All right, from this way. And we got lightning. I mean, we got, just do that. Just do that. But if we're looking at it from this angle, we got Ankelman, Mankey, and Glorpenstein. Just put a light here. Just put it here. Just off camera. Just right there. I don't understand. And then they throw Mace Windu into the abyss. I can't handle it, man. So then at this point, you're moving into like a CG face, right? That's. I mean, we're moving beyond lightsabers and stuff, but we've got a CG animation going on for this, like, aging, or do they do multiple takes for this with that cloak in the way? That could be interesting. That might be. Oh wait. Is that a CG replace, or is that... I want to say, like, there's both. It just looks... Yeah. All those wrinkles and stuff, that's got to be an actual prosthetic. That's 2 shots cut together, I bet. So they got, like, this first shot where it's just... He's just being himself. Or that's CG replaced? Is his normal face replaced? Like, sorry, they've done the makeup, but then put his normal face over it. I don't think they had that kind of, like, real good-looking technology back then. This is 2 shots. 1 shot. Boom, 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 boom. The cloak flies in front of the screen. 2nd shot, prosthetic. Yeah, right? CG'd his normal face. Right? Yeah. It just feels like that feels like if you look, the neckline stuff's like super sharp. The face is kind of flat. The whole face shifts. It's right there. Meh. His whole face shifts. Huh. Oh, did you see that shift too? The left side of the face. It kind of like, just like expands. He's always pruning. He's always fresh out of that bath, you know? Get him. Get him, dude. I don't know. I feel like that's CG, though. I'm confused. That's prosthetic. That other thing was looking weird, though. I'm way off track with the lightsabers. But this lighting has me on a track with on a whole other trail with however the scene was done. I want to say this shot's so like this. Ugh. Anakin is conflicted. This shot, he's got a prosthetic on. And they've CG'd the prosthetic and like made it so that his face is like a little bit more together. And then as the shot goes, they expand it and they cover up those effects with the cloak flying in, with the lightning going off, all that stuff, right? Then you go to this next shot. This shot feels like an insert or added later, or because it doesn't feel like the right shape for his face. Interesting. I don't even. I might have to look. Maybe we can look at That's an episode we can do. That's absolutely an episode we can do. Melting faces. Melting faces. I mean, we got Indiana Jones. We got Emperor Palpatine. I can look into how those effects were done. We can talk more about those. But anyway, I've got real off trail with this real off track with this lightning thing. But the idea is that they did put work in for these scenes. So this is let me go back to the original trilogy. This is actually where I was trying to get to, and then I was like, oh, Mace Windu! I gotta watch the Mace Windu scene. Is in these scenes. This is, Return of the Jedi. I want to see if there's light. I know for a fact that there's light on Palpatine, because I can see the shot in my head. But you can see right there's no light on Luke. The only light that's on Luke is the spark that goes off from the pyrotechnic thing that's below him, right? And so it's just something that is something we'll be looking at when we're looking at effects and like how they stand out and stuff, is looking at like, okay, that's a light source. Where's the light at, right? But I want to see this shot of Palpatine. This is what I've been going at. Palpatine and Vader both have shots where there's like light just like going off. And there you go. You see that first flash right there. Oh, Luke's got some light on him because the pyrotechnics went off again, but no blue. Why is it so blue? Why? Oh, we didn't get a light in the wide. See that one? We get a one flash. Is that just a brightened part? I don't know. The light changes over here too. So I guess that's like an actual lens flare. Was that a fake lens? I wonder if that was a fake lens flare like they used for the lightsaber clashes. So another thing, when lightsabers connect, I was talking about duels earlier, and like how my dark saber would like suck in the other lightsaber or whatever. But you can see each of these, every time the lightsabers hit, there's a psh, 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 these flashes of light going off. Much easier to see in the original fight. It's so slow between Obi-Wan and Vader. And they're very like yellowy, as long as this is the original one. His lightsaber's super thin. Did you see how thin his lightsaber was right there? But you can see those little like flashes, those like yellow and green, brown clashes of light. And I'm wondering if that is the same thing, that if they put like a little lightsaber pop. Is that jump cut? No, it's not a jump cut. It's not a jump cut. It's just like the light and his movement at the same time. It felt like it was like cut in. But like I said, we don't get any light in the wide. But again, you got so much space to work with. Just put a light in the wide, man. Like behind camera, put a strobe. Guess where the shadow's gonna be? Behind Palpatine, which is exactly where the shadow would be, and everything else is going to get the fall off of the blue. I don't understand why they didn't do that. That's wild to me. Maybe they didn't know what it would look like at the time. Then they were just like, but they didn't do it with Dooku either. But again, they were experimenting with a lot of like green screen sets at the time. I keep talking about that. Let me show you prequel. Star Wars prequel film sets, just in case anybody hasn't seen these or doesn't know what these look like. Just want to give you an idea of what in the prequels, what they were filming on and acting against. Prequel green screen sets. Yeah, dude. Oh God, man. I mean, like, like that's not lava. What is this? What am I looking at? I mean, an airport. So this is where everybody was on set. I mean, yeah. So I mean, this is one of the shoots with Palpatine, and like this is as much set as they would have. Like they might have the inside of a thing, or like generally, like, you know, like these big things are just like, well, this is generally a guideline for where are those part of the set? This is okay. So the floor is real in this shot, right? Or I can't even tell. So this is basically the prequels. I kind of love that. All right. But I know there's a shot of Vader with light on him. I'm not crazy. I wonder if the whole let's keep watching. Let's keep watching. I've got a couple thoughts I want to go over here. We'll talk about. Ooh, what? Is this actual light? First of all, that's my first question is this actual light? It is actual light. You are getting new details in the black. You're seeing smudges pop up and scratches. So someone managed to bring a strobe light to set. I don't know who finally did it for this one shot, and then they lost it and they couldn't find it for the prequels. They couldn't find it for that shot either. They just found it for Vader's shot, apparently. Why isn't that shining on Palpatine? I've got a couple ideas why, but I want to look at this. Yeah, let's look at this shot real quick with this lighting. I mean, that's just straight up pyrotechnics going off. So, look at where this light is hitting. And there's new light on Vader's helmet. That is an actual light. This light is an actual light. How? So his cloak right now, it's too dark to even see what's going on. But the funny thing is, shedding light on it didn't help any. So the light is coming in from off camera over here. And it's flashing on his face. But that looks digitally brightened. I'll just say it looks digitally brightened. It's got like a lot more grain. And look, see the colors in the white here? How they turn, like, you can see the red, green, and blue. You can see these like little triangles of red and green and blue and white in here. Like, you don't get that. It's like that is digitally brightened. That is obviously taken out or sorry, like removed, brightened, and put back on. I think because when you brighten an image that's dark, you generally get a lot more noise and color noise and things like that versus just putting a light into a scene. Putting a light into the scene doesn't add noise. That's what putting a light into a scene looks like right there. That's light. Then what's that? That's light. His hood is lit up. His neck is lit up. There's a light on him for this. That is not what light looks like. No light on helmets, on Vader's helmet. Let me go back. Is there a light that shows up? Yeah. Oh man, look at Vader lighting up. Oh, look at all Vader. Vader's chest is lighting up. His face is lighting up. His helmet's lighting up. Boom, boom, boom. That's an actual light. And then they're like, well, this lightning is like crackling and going off and going crazy and stuff. So we got to add more flashes. But Vader doesn't get any more detail. He doesn't get any more light on that second flash. Those are digitally brightened images right there. That is a digital flash. I mean, I could just show you. Let me open up that project in Premiere, and I can show you in the video like what doing something like that looks like. So this is the reason that you wouldn't see them going back to the original Star Wars and trying to like do light passes or whatever, because I mean you can kind of already see it in here just because the quality isn't amazing. But if you zoom in on this black spot, you can see it all split up, and you can see the red and blue, the green squares and brown squares, blue squares, red squares. You can see all that stuff in there, right? So let's say I'm shooting, there's lightning over here, and so we need to do a few flashes of lightning. We're gonna mask out my shirt quickly. I guess it'd be over my whole body, right? It's gonna be over my whole body. Here we go. Boom. Over my whole body. It's coming from like that light source over here. Let's say that light source is lightning, right? So it's gonna hit my body. It's gonna go over here. I'm gonna follow the shadow of my beard. Well, I'm not. I'm gonna say there's lightning. It's lightning is just hitting me. Full frontal lightning, and we'll put the fall off around here. So it does actually look like it is falling off at some point, right? Okay, it comes up to the ear, catches the ear. And I don't know, somewhere in here, we get some lights, probably not super accurate. And something like that for the hair. And then there would be a little, we'd need to do something about that, about my top knot. But anyway, bring this back around. I wouldn't even need to like key all this out because we got the, or, oh, actually, you know, I could do that. Let's just do that. So, boom. Perfect. Move this out of here. Move that out there. Love it. Let's duplicate these. I could just mask the effect. Let's do Ultra Key. Put that in there. Let's grab a brightness filter, because that's the whole thing I'm trying to even like show you right now. Take that, put it on the brightness filter, and mask out the screen. Okay, so it's not great. It's not perfect. I just grabbed this earlier for stills and stuff, so it was just like it was not meant to be keyed. So let me adjust some of these. I use Ultra Key for my keying. All right, that looks all right, right? So throw a crop on there. Let's get the extra crap out of there so it's not quite as distracting. Just got me on black, right? So now I can come to this brightness filter. Super bright, right? That's all. Oh, but the Ultra Keys happen after. That's why it looks really funky. So there we go. This is what you're basically looking at happening over there. Let me feather this out. Maybe bring it in a little bit. Bring down the feather. Little more. Maybe a little tighter. But that's essentially what you're looking at, is like just a brightened part of an image, right? And then they're just going frame by frame through this thing. And I mean, for just the ease of things, oh my god, I'm so used to editing. I've got like a special extra keyboard thing that I edit with, and I'm on just like my regular keyboard right now, so I'm like fumbling around. Let me just shut the brightness off on that. Make another cut right here. Slip that way. And this one, we can turn it back on. And actually, you know what would be quicker? Let me duplicate this and cut, and then just delete every other one. Boom, 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 boom. Lightning. It didn't work. Lightning. Whoop. Lightning. All right, so you're seeing an image that's just being brightened up every once in a while. Right? And that's essentially, I mean, I think that's exactly what we're watching on this other tab. Is we're seeing a bit of the image that like that detail doesn't exist, or here's my other solution to that, or the reason that it looks weird, or the reason they may have digitally gone back in and altered it, was that let me see if I can find an example of this. Strobe light on camera. But I want to see the the issues. Strobe. Flickering. How to avoid light flicker. I think this is where I can kind of explain this as I'm looking for an example. But what's happening, or what I'm thinking is happening, is that they do have some sort of strobe or flashing light off screen pointed at the actor. I mean, they used it for Vader, right? But also, I'm wondering if they digitally altered Vader as well, but I'll talk about that in a sec. And so you've got this strobe being flashed at the actor. Okay, and you saw those go off, man. There was like there's a lens flare on the edge of the screen. This light is right off camera, pointed at our actor. That's real. No more lens flares. But I'm wondering if there were extra flashes that went off. Just a couple. Maybe just like this one. I think that's altered. I don't think there's another one. I was going to tell you guys, so with strobe lights, if you're shooting like with a camera at a strobe light, again, we're like way off from lightsabers, but this has evolved into some like general Star Wars effects, lightning and lightsabers, I guess. When you shoot a strobe on camera, it can if the rate that the strobe is going off does not match the rate at which your frames are being captured on the camera, so your frame rate is being filmed, then you'll end up with sections of your video lit instead of like a whole full flash. So if you're running like 30 frames per second, 24 frames per second, whatever for your movie, and your strobe light is going off 25 frames a second, or 26 times a second, or 30 times a second, or 32 times a second, or 15 times a second, or whatever, your film is only able to catch a little bit of those bits where the light is actually on your subject and reflecting back on the camera. And so if you've ever seen like video in a haunted house or in like a rave or a dance club or whatever, you'll notice like bars across the screen will be lit sometimes, like bars of lit and dark and light and dark, and like your brain's like, those are camera flashes and those are strobe lights and those are flashing lights going off, but you're just seeing a bar, which is completely unnatural. And the reason is because the film, the rate of the frames are being captured does not match the rate at which the light is being dispersed into the scene, and so it gets all separated up, and like it looks like it kind of looks like I don't know, it makes your video look like freaking candy cane sometimes, but it looks like interlacing. Oh my god, de-interlacing and interlacing was a huge issue back on DV tapes and all that. You would get a bunch of lines through, and you could tell where those if you did like a strobe light on camera, you could tell where it was going to happen on camera because of those like scan lines and everything. But anyway, that's essentially, I think that's what's happening. This is one hit of light, and then they went and made it like one more pop, because I mean, look at this lightning. It's going nuts. This lightning is crazy. Like, I don't know if they thought that he was just going to like be like Zeus and throw one thunderbolt, whatever, you know? Because like they only got one pyrotechnic that goes off. They got one pop of light, and that's it. For Vader though, you see some of that strobe effect. You see it, like it doesn't cover the full frame. If I'm no? Okay, so they've got this going off. They've got this set up to where, well, it's not going off. Yeah, it's oh. I caught him. I knew I saw some fake ones in there. That's a brightened image. That's a brightened image. So look at how he looks right here versus that. Look at all the detail that pops. You can see in his helmet. You can see around his mask. His eyes become curved. Everything just gets more definition. We back up to this. This is not lit. There's no extra light. There's no extra detail. None of this gets lit up from the light that's supposed to be over here off screen. This is a digitally enhanced thing. It's this. It's exactly that, except they just cut out Vader entirely. Like that. Boop. There's no new detail being added. There's grain. The contrast gets lost. It's a it's an altered frame to enhance the lightning effects. Because they own, like, if you look at that shot, there's only 2 pops of light that go off, and I'm wondering if they only did 2 pops of light, or did they do multiple pops of light and then have to just edit down to the ones that look good and weren't like weird. I don't know. No idea. $100% though. Caught him. Got him. Myth busted. It's not real lightning. I wonder how many times they had to do this shot. That's digitally enhanced. There's no new, the only new detail is the stripe of light, and you can do that digitally. Like, there's no way. Ooh, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Up there, on the eyebrow, there's evidence of actual light. There's no way. Is he so isolated? But how does, I'm actually confused now. That other one, it straight up looks like a brightened image. This looks like a brightened image too. They had to have like, that looks digitally drawn and then like airbrushed in on some of those. They were like, we got to get this push-in shot. This push-in shot's so good, but we need more flashes in it. See that one? That's completely different. That's completely different. It's digital. It's got to be digital. I can't not. I don't know why that happened. I don't know why I switched programs. Wow, man. Yeah, there's some just digitally enhanced flashes all over the place in here. They only had like a couple flashes go off. And then they tried to like replicate it with the digital enhanced ones. Because the lighting is just so crazy. They bumped up the effects and the lighting to try and match it, make it look good. Ooh, what was that flash? Ooh. Yeah, look at that, dude. Oh, dude. That's sick. That's sick. That's totally drawn in. Oh, that looks so rad. That's all drawn in. That's not actual light. This whole thing is brightened. And then they've gone in and had to draw those lines in, right? I mean, it has to be. There's no new detail. Only light. Only white, I should say. They cut out Vader so that he is alone and brightened the image on the projection. They brightened for a flash or two, and then during that flash they had an artist go in and put, I guarantee that's how that works. Whoa, Vader's nose lights up. Why? Oh, there is a little light. Hold on. You can see lighting change on Palpatine too here. So there's a light. It's just kind of like way over here. Oh, wow. Yo, that's proof. That's just straight up proof. I've been guessing, but that's proof. That is a flash of a still frame that is not lined up correctly. Look at his eye. That's like a still frame that has been brightened and laid in over there and is just not in the right position. That's actual light. Vader lights up, the cloak lights up, you can see detail in the light, in the cloak and stuff. Oh man, this is so cool to look at. I've never actually gone frame by frame through these scenes. Oh my, these digitally drawn, man, just the time that it takes to do that stuff. Absolutely no light. Just brightened in post. And it looks rad as hell. No! I hate that he added that. George Lucas, there's only one thing that I despise that you've changed about Star Wars, and it's that. The rest of it, I'm good. This was a silly change. There's no reason for it. We understand. So here, okay, so here's some like bonus content, I guess. The lightning showing Vader's skeleton inside. Another just drawn on animation cell kind of thing. But it's awesome. It's haunting. I'm getting some more animation cell work. Look at that, like, X-ray. I wonder if they took actual X-rays for this. Or if that is just an artist just, like, flexing. Maybe Melting Faces will come with a part 2 on Force Lightning. Oh, I've loved this shot since I was a kid. This shot of like ghostly skeletal Vader scaring down the reactor shaft, like, or whatever this thing is. Freaking, oh god, dude, it's so good. Love it. I love that. It's so sick. Again, animated smoke, animated. Wild. And also animated. Not what I was looking for, but animated. Wait, hold up. Do we get lighting on Kylo Ren? I'm just wondering, in 2020, do we have the technology to put lighting on an actor when lightning is on set? Can we do it? Force Lightning sequel trilogy. There's gotta be somebody out there crazy like us, right? Oh man. Alright, we'll have to do a part 2 on Force Lightning and the face melting and stuff like that, but I've crammed a lot of knowledge into your heads today. I've rambled about a lot of things, and I hope that it made sense and that you had fun. Because I think they're actually real images, except for that one. Andy Serkis really looks like that. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Are the skeleton image is Darth Vader's skeleton drawn? Sorry, I'm actually looking at something kind of interesting here. There's a Reddit post, and it's talking about... You can see all these, like, mechanical features, and I'm like, I don't think those were there. I don't think those are there. I'm pretty sure that's an ad later. In the, like, remasters and re-releases and stuff. Because I don't remember seeing that just now. I don't remember seeing that stuff as a kid either. But I guess I've never flipped frame by frame through here. So, take a look. Whoa! Look at that. His entire throat is machine and mechanical. Down here, you've got, like, you know, perfectly, like, circular parts and gizmos and stuff, and you can see like whatever this is, like it kind of is like connected to his jaw or something, like those little tips on the mask. This thing is part of that X-ray, which means that like it's just as like thick or like part of his skeleton or whatever. That's just amazing. I love that. I've never seen that before. You can see all these mechanical parts. He's more machine than man now. The breathing apparatus going down his lungs. Yeah, right? It's like... That's sick. That's so cool. Hold up. Since we're focusing on it, let's see this chest shot. Yeah, I mean, you can see, like, there's a little, like, circular thing. They didn't... Oh, there's, like, some cable. You see, like cables and, like lines, and... It's very Terminator. It's very Terminator kind of looking skeleton. Oh, look at his arm! It's just, like, 2 pins of steel. That's neat. Oh, look at all the gizmos and stuff there. Oh, very neat. Hell yeah. Oh, cool. I'm glad I found that. I'm glad I looked that up. Oh, man. All right. Total side note, Nook will be receiving a little something on the 18th? What? Okay. Thank you. Right, his mechanical arm. Arm he lost, not mechanical. Right. Like, that's like, that's super, that's crazy. That's actually crazy canon. Like, George Lucas knew that Darth Vader had all his frickin' limbs cut off when he threw Emperor Palpatine into the reactor core. Sick. Thank you, Mistress. It's very kind of you. I'm a little distracted, but thank you. All right. Yeah. Let's see what's on. It's about 6 o'clock. Yeah. I'm wanting to wrap these up. I don't want to make these any more than 4 hours is going to be pushing it for these streams. I'd really like to keep it around 3 or 3.5. So we're coming up on 3.5. Right? Yeah. Started at 2:30. About 3.5. I guess I could look at my live time. There it is. So I'm gonna be calling this pretty quick here. Thanks for hanging out for my first stream on YouTube in 5, 6, 10, 82 years or whatever. I hope you've enjoyed this and that you have been able to learn something from it. And I've learned some stuff today, so that's been pretty cool. Whoa, I actually never realized that these are walkways. That's a door. Those are walkways. Sorry. So yeah, pretty good test stream. Oh, that's not even on screen. Boop. These are walkways. Look at that door. Look at that door. Anyway. Rough Quarry, everybody. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Cool. I don't know what the next episode will be. I don't know what the next stream will be. But, or whatever we're calling these. But we'll be doing more of them. I've enjoyed this. We got face melting to look at, which sounds like a really fun stream to do. We've got, I want to do some horror stuff, probably more like lean into the editing side of things on that. And I don't know. I could talk about Star Wars forever, so I should probably stop this at some point. If you want to keep up with me elsewhere, if there's anybody here that doesn't know I'm on Twitch, I'm on Twitch. And you can come see me. I'm streaming really early in the mornings right now because I'm sleeping like a farmer and waking up before dawn. So come hang out. Check me out over there. Otherwise, I'm going to be here doing this. Okay? And yeah, seriously. Thank you, Mistress, Luna, He-Man, Merc, Lucius, for being here earlier. Bravado, saw you, man. Sorry I didn't reply to you. I was just really sucked into what I was talking about. Thanks everybody for coming in. Thank you for the donations, super chats, and all that stuff. And I'll see you same time next week. How about that? Same time next week. Have a great one. See you soon. Bye-bye. I don't know how to end the stream. How do I end a stream on YouTube? How do I end a stream? Oh, God. I think this is right.